All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Are we here? Let me find out. I have to do a couple things on the back end, like mute my YouTube so it doesn't make all kinds of noise. But it hasn't caught up yet. Come on. You can... There we go. All right. Hi. Good afternoon, where I am at least. It's beautiful, drizzly, gray, freezing Saturday afternoon. I am sitting here shivering. I have a t-shirt, hoodie, sweatpants, fuzzy socks, got my wubby, and a cat on me, and I am still freezing because it's like 60 degrees. In my world, 60 degrees it might as well be -10 because we are not ready for this. So yeah, I'm really cold. So you may hear my voice may be shaking a little bit. Honestly, I'm just shivering. It's nothing emotional, dramatic, nothing like that. I'm just flipping cold. Um, I'm also having a really bad vision day. I get allergies really bad this time of year, but sometimes they make my eyes go like all blurry. Like I get like eye boogers and stuff. And so I'm going to have a hard time reading chat. I made it as large as I can on my screen so I can hopefully read it. But if I miss something, I'm really sorry. If I read it wrong, I'm really sorry. Just go with Awen's got issues. Okay. And don't email me today because I tried to read an email. Can't, nope, not happening. Not going to happen. So we'll get to those tomorrow. I wanted to do a live today just because I'm having so much fun doing these live streams. I am so glad to be back. And I have to let myself admit that I am really, really happy to be back on YouTube. So just doing a live stream. What I realized the other day when someone left a comment, uh, a lot of people never knew me back 5 years ago when I was on YouTube. And they are certainly drawn to my newer videos about Lauren Matthias and all that garbage, but they have no idea who I am or anything that I'm about. So this is going to be kind of like my introduction to my relaunch of my YouTube channel, who I am, what I'm about, what I want to do going forward, and cat pictures. All right. I realized I was going through my pictures trying to find ones that I thought were appropriate for sharing. Didn't want to show any dirt on my floor or anything that would give away where I lived. So I was combing through them carefully. I could literally do a 9-hour live stream of cat pictures. So maybe, no, I'm not going to do that, but I could, and that's kind of funny. So yeah, on the screen right now, I'll start with my introduction. The little girl that's snarling with that face because she's got the two kittens wrestling next to her. That's my Izzy girl. That's Izzy. And the two wrestlers are Bakulja and Happy. And as we go through the pictures, I'll tell you their little stories and stuff. But these are my current house cats. All of my cats are current rescues that either the foster fails that I couldn't let go of because I fell in love with them, or at the point right now where I'm living, it's just saturated. You cannot find someone to take a cat. You cannot find a rescue that has openings, so it's just is what it is. Thankfully, my landlord is as big of a cat person as I am, and she don't care. She's like, I don't see any cats here. What? I don't see cats. Go bond your day. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. So we have a good situation. I have currently 8 house cats. We have 3 outdoor cats that there's a feral cat. Let me tell you the story. I want to tell you the story, so I'm going to start with this story today. When I moved years ago because of Lauren goddamn Matthias, the new place that we got, it's gorgeous. Absolutely love it. We have a huge backyard. We have there's like a walkway, or I guess you could drive back there, but between our door there's about a 40-foot span, and then there's a chain link fence and really, really thick, dense forest. You can't walk through it. It's just too dense. But we also have all kinds of wildlife. We have coyotes, raccoons, squirrels, deer, possum, armadillos, every bird you can imagine. It's amazing. I love it so much, right? So I am so happy. So if I have to move again, I'm going to be really pissed. Okay, just putting that out there. Gertrude, stop your shit. So yeah, I'm really happy. And once we started spending a lot of time outside, got our patio all set up, I noticed some stray cats. There was a huge black and white fluffy one who would just kind of plonk along. My husband called him Flump He just kind of flumps around. Big, giant, really long-haired black and white cat, and I'm like, I love him. I love him. So he came up to us pretty easily, and we started feeding him and taking care of him. And noticed he had some wounds and mats and this and that, so we got him to the vet. He just let me pick him up and take him to the vet. He didn't care. Uh, Turned out he was FIV positive and had a lot of problems, and he was in a lot of pain. So the very first cat I picked up, we checked him, for a microchip and all. He was not owned. A couple of the other neighbors said they've seen him just wandering around for a year or so. So he had to be put down because he was in a lot of pain. Broke my heart to pieces. I'm like, I want to help the cat, and now he's got to kill him. Ugh, I'm not good with that. I did not handle that well. But after that, we started noticing lots of other feral cats around, and we would feed them and check them, and then we decided to TNR them as trap, neuter, and release. So at least they're not procreating, right? So through that process, you know how much that costs? That is not cheap. We had 14 cats total. There's only one that's still not fixed. So we have 13 cats that we got fixed. One of them was a beautiful little tabby female, and she got pregnant. I was like, oh no, oh no. Um, what are we gonna do? So we bought all the fancy cat rescue traps, like the professional rescue traps. This guy not stupid. She didn't go in there for nothing, not for anything. So we put a really large animal crate outside and put blankets and all that stuff and kind of covered it so she wouldn't see what it was. And like, yay, she got in there. And my neighbor friend and I, uh, we were so bent on capturing her before she had her kittens. So we waited outside one night. We had everything off the patio except this giant crate. We had all kinds of chicken wire and cardboard stuff up around the edges of a patio. So if she came up, she couldn't get out of the patio. So at least we'd get better chances. And we had a towel between two of my patio chairs, and we were hiding under the towel with a yarn tied to the door of the crate. So if she went in, we could pull it really quick from our hiding spot. And I'm like, can you imagine if the police walked by right now? Like, what are you two wackos doing? It was so funny. But we sat out there for hours until she went in the crate, closed the door. Yay! We latched the door. We did it. High fives all around. Went to pick up the crate to bring it inside. Do you know I put the crate upside down? So that the bottom pad of the crate was actually on the top, so the holes at the bottom were big enough. She jumped right up out of that crate. And I'm like, no, no, no. This cat was way too smart for us. So she had her kittens. The only reason we found them is because she had them in somebody's car in the parking lot. And my friend was walking by and saw this person taking these newborn kittens out of his car and putting them on the hot asphalt. Oh, so of course we ran out there with boxes and blankets and scooped up all the cats, left them by the woods, hoping she would come back. We waited for like a whole day. We didn't find the mom, so I wasn't going to leave the kittens out there. We brought them inside, got them their formula. We had to syringe feed them. They were too small for bottles because they had just been born just that minute. And so we had 4 of them. One of them passed away almost immediately. There's nothing you can do about that. I did call the emergency vet, and they're like, there's nothing we can do. We can't put an IV in them. They're too little. It's going to happen. You're going to have to steel yourself a bit. So we lost one. The other 3 did great, and they're still doing great today. 2 of them are with her. One of them is with me. And that is the Izzy girl that you see in that picture, the one making the snarly face. So she is from the very first litter of kittens that we rescued. And then the mom went on her merry way, did her stuff. Like she didn't. We showed her the kittens, brought them out to her, and she was like, all right, just went on her way. Okay. So we kept the kittens. We kept trying to get the mom so we could get her fixed. Couldn't get her again. 3 months later, don't you know she was pregnant again? And I'm like, oh, man. We tried her whole pregnancy to get her, couldn't get her. And then she disappeared because I would see her every day. She didn't come for a couple of days. And I'm like, oh, I bet she had the kittens. Uh, But we didn't see her. We couldn't find her. Didn't know where she was until one day I'm sitting outside on my patio doing my normal stuff, and I see her walk up to me. I'm like, "Oh, hey!" We called her Emmy. Hey, Emmy. Gave her some pets. Got her some food. And I'm just sitting there. Next thing I hear a tiny little kitten mew, and I'm like, "What? What the? Who's that?" And I look, and there's a kitten that she dropped right on the our welcome mat. And I'm like, "Oh, Emmy, you brought me your baby." And I pick up this kitten, it's a little brown tabby, and he looks at me with the fiercest little face and hisses. I'm like, "Oh, I love you." He looks exactly like Gizmo from Gremlins. The giant ears. Oh, he looked exactly like Gizmo. I was like, "You, I'm keeping you. I love you to pieces." He hissed at me. He was great. And I'm like, "Well, where'd Emmy go?" She came back a minute later with another kitten. And I'm like, "Oh no, she's bringing me her litter." So I yell for my husband. He runs outside. Emmy sees him, and Emmy leads him to the rest of the litter. And she stands there as he scoops them all up and follows him back with them. And we put them all down on a blanket. And I noticed Emmy just kind of like fell over. She was absolute skin and bones, really panting hard. And I'm like, "Oh, she's bringing me her babies because she's about to die." Right. So I call my neighbor friend. She comes over. She grabs the kittens. I grab Emmy. We go straight to the emergency vet. We were there for at least 12 hours. She had something called preeclampsia, which, for me as a woman, preeclampsia means something very different than it does for a cat. She almost died. She would have died if we hadn't gotten her to the vet within probably that hour. But they fixed her. They fixed her all up. Cost a fortune. Cost a fortune. So yeah, but she's healthy now. She's fixed. All of her babies are safe. I have three of them. My girlfriend has two of them, and the rest were rehomed. And that started my whole thing to cat rescue. I got in touch with a couple local rescues. Do you know if you want to rescue cats, they will give you supplies, food, everything that you need, even take care of the vet bills, as long as you will house these animals. If you have the space and the temperament to deal with it, it's not easy. Isn't it? You're up every 2 or 3 hours doing feedings, and it's a lot of work, way more than I thought it was going to be. But man, nothing has brought me more joy in my life or more heartache, because you will lose a couple and it hurts so bad. Oh, does it hurt? But the reward is you have a house full of fur babies all the time, as many as you can handle. Uh, so we are full up right now. We're not accepting anymore because we can't. We have too many. And I still have neighbors once in a while show up with a one just a couple months ago, tiny, tiny little kitten, um, obviously just newborn, absolute skin and bones, eyes not even really open yet. Like, "Help!" I'm like, "Well, of course, And that is our little Quirkus. I don't know where I didn't put these pictures in order, so I don't know where Quirkus is, but we'll just go here. This is my happy girl. This is one of Emmy's first or second litter. Second litter. She is a spoiled, pretty princess. That's her little pretty princess bed, because that's what she does. And this is these are my loves. Bakulja, the one that I told you looked like Gizmo and hissed at me when I first picked him up. That is him on the left. That's Happy, his little sister, underneath. These two are the champions of our household. Bakulja is the little smart ass. Oh, that cat. Oh, I love him. Um, oh, goodness, hold on, I need a drink. I'm so thirsty. Bakulja was so fun when we first got him. We decided we're going to leash train him, right? Don't do that. That is the dumbest decision I have ever made in my life. He took to the leash great and go out for walks, had a great old time, but he also developed a taste for getting outside. He just wanted to get outside. And so every time you go near the door, that cat is making a beeline. And he's faster than any of us. He got out once, didn't come back, couldn't find him anywhere. And we're sitting outside. It's starting to get dark and getting nervous. We can hear him meowing in the woods. Like, and if you call for him, you go, "Bakulja," he would meow back. So he was answering back and back. It was just like, "Oh no, he's in those woods," because we can't get into those woods. My son-in-law, Bakulja is my son-in-law's child, like literally, that's his child. And he was like, nope, I'm going. I'm like, it's dark. There are coyotes in there. You cannot go in those woods. He's like, my baby's in those woods. So he gets all donned up, gets a flashlight, gets some gloves on, hops over the fence, and he's in the woods. I'm like, now I'm going to have to call 911 for two of you stuck in the woods. I was panic stricken. So he eventually found Bakulja because he was meowing the whole time. So they used echolocation, right? And found him up in a tree, like 30 feet in a tree. Like, I don't have a ladder. I live in an apartment. What do I need ladders for? And even if you have a ladder, my husband went to the store and spent $350 on a 25-foot ladder in the middle of the night, and he gets out there, and Daniel is carrying this ladder through the woods that you can't walk through, right? But he was so, I have to get my boy, that he was going to get that ladder to that tree no matter what. And it's the middle of the night, and we could literally hear the coyotes howling, and I'm like, oh, I should call somebody. Who are you going to call? But I was pretty close to calling the fire department because I was terrified for all of them. But Daniel got out there, he got to the tree, got the ladder up, climbed up the ladder. Cat goes up higher than the tree. And I'm like, oh, good Lord. And so we tried with food and treats, and we carried so much stuff into that woods to try and get this freaking cat. Oh, goodness. But it didn't work. He didn't come down. So we came inside and went to bed. Figured maybe if he gets hungry enough, he'll come out. But at least he's up the tree. The coyotes can't get him. All right. He's safe enough there. And the next morning, as soon as it was light out, we're back out. My son-in-law's back out in the woods, trying again. Cat still in the tree, will not come down. So I'm like Googling. All right, who do I don't think you can call the fire department to do this kind of stuff nowadays. Excuse me. Sorry about that. So Google said call an arborist, a tree person. I'm like, oh, that's clever. So I called a tree person, and he was like, well, it's a Sunday. I don't usually work on a Sunday, but for your cat, all right, I'll come out. Nicest guy in the world. He came out, and when we showed him the woods, he's like, in there? I'm like, yeah, cat's in there. He's like, ooh, boy. All right, let's go do it. So he and my son-in-law climbed the fence, hacked their way with a machete type thing to get through the woods to get to the tree. He didn't even bring a ladder. I'm like, how is he going to do this? He's going to climb the tree? But they shook the tree and got Bakulja out of it, scooped him up, and of course Bakulja takes off running because now he's terrified. But eventually we got him to get back to the fence line and got him home. But that was like a 24-hour adventure of one stinking little cat up in a tree, and it cost me $350 for the ladder, $100 for the arborist. And then what did I do? Because I'm a smart person, I gave the arborist the ladder. It's like, I don't need, you want a ladder? Have a free ladder. He's like, hey, thanks. And my husband got back. He's like, where's my ladder? It's like, I gave it to the tree guy. He's like, why would you do that? I could have returned it. I'm like, oh, because it seemed nice. It's like, it was a nice thing to do, nice gesture. My husband's like, oh, you and your nice gestures. I'm like, yeah, sorry, love you. But yeah, that's Bakulja. This cat gives us a run for our money on a daily basis. But that's what we do. Our entire life is our cats. I always have one on me, or two or three around my chair. They're all over the house, and when somebody shows up with a sick cat, I'm like, all right, let's do it. We fix them up, and try to find them a home. If we can't find them a home, we just keep them. So yeah, there are two of our cats who are technically listed for adoption. One is Izzy, and she's beautiful. But all of our cats are fixed, have all their shots, all that good stuff, all their paperwork. So if you're interested in a cat and you're in my area, which I'm not telling you where my area is, so yeah, that complicates things a little bit. But they're all listed on Pet Finder and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my life with cats. So, and they are spoiled. That is last year, happy in our Christmas tree because they thought the Christmas tree was the greatest thing ever. I have all plastic ornaments now, thanks to my cat rescue life. That's what they. If I glance at, I'm glancing at the chat. We're getting to know each other. Oh, good. See that's what I wanted to do. All right, let me stop talking about the cats for a minute. It's hard to do. I like talking about my cats. Um, I realized a lot of people have never met me before. They didn't know me 5 years ago when I was doing YouTube. They have no idea who I am, what I'm about. So that's what today is really about. It's just a fun, happy stream. I do have a couple hidden true crime things to touch on, but I'm in too good of a mood, so I'll save that for the end. Let's talk about the fun stuff for a change. I've been so focused on all this drama, and it's consumed my brain for the last what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That's all I thought about last 5 days is this nonsense. I'm getting over it. It gets old real quick, but there's still more stuff going on. Like, it just won't stop. So we'll deal with that later. For right now, we're going to talk about the fun stuff. My kitty cats. So yes, I do cat rescue. That is a huge part of my life. I also crochet. I can't stop playing with yarn. I love it. I thought about making an Etsy shop because once I got into amigurumi, oh, I just took off. And I made this little silly frog thing, uh, sent it to a couple of my friends, and I'm like, that's the dumbest looking thing ever. They're like, you need to sell this. This is the cutest thing. I'm like, what? It's dumb. So maybe I'll do an Etsy shop someday. I don't know. That's really complicated. The legal shenanigans behind the scenes with Etsy. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that. It's not worth it. Maybe I'll just have them as giveaways on live streams. All kinds of cool little weird shit I crochet because I don't know what to do with it because it's taking over my life. I need an extra bedroom apartment just for crocheted stuff, which would be fun. So yeah, I crochet. I do cats. I'm currently studying astrophysics. My goal is to have my PhD sometime before I die. Uh, at this rate, it's probably going to take me another 10 years, mainly because the program that I got into that was funded by NASA and the Department of Education was a very, very, very almost completely reduced tuition program, a way to earn your college accreditation without spending $150,000 a year, right? Because I want to go to Stanford. That ain't cheap. I ain't got Stanford money. I do not. But I can take their open courseware, and if I pass the test, I can get credit for that course. Brilliant. Brilliant. But that program's gone now, thanks to the current administration. So I can't do it. I can still I can do all the open courseware. I can take all the courses. I can do all the tests, but there's no accreditation program. There's nothing like that. Nothing like that. So I'm doing it for my own education. Maybe at some point a program like that will come back, and then I can just take all the tests and be done. And then start preparing for my dissertation. Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. But I'm going to keep going anyway. So tough. It's something that fascinates me and consumes my brain. And my husband was a nuclear physicist for British Nuclear Fuels. So I have someone to help. You know what I mean? And it started a long time ago, and so I might as well just doing it. So that's a good other 50% of my life is studies. I suck at math. Suck at math. If you suck at math, do not try to do astrophysics. They don't. Oh, so it's taking me much longer than it probably would any other normal human, because you cannot do it without math. You cannot do it. So I just push myself. I push and push and push. I think most people would walk away when met with something that challenging. But to me, it's like throwing down the gauntlet. It's like, okay, I can't add and subtract fractions, but I'll figure it out somehow. I'll figure it out. And I do figure it out. It takes a while, but I'll get there. I'll get there. So I'm very proud of that because it would have been much easier to just walk away. No, I'm just going to crochet. I don't need that stuff. But, I like it. I like the challenge, and I like feeling smart. you know, I have moments, so it's fun. But that is a huge part of who I am. I'm a scientist. Uh, Astrophysics is absolutely my thing. I also thoroughly in love and studying particle physics. That's another good thing. Nuclear physics. So that's where a lot of my brain power goes. I have never really done anything with that on the channel, though I have thought about it. going forward, one of my things was what content do I want to do? Do I want to do? I'm not doing true crime. I'm not touching that again because so what do I want to do? Do I want to do just cat rescue videos? There's a lot of that out there. But I was thinking maybe something scientific, sleepy science stories. Let's talk about Jupiter and just do a nice blah, 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 everything I know about Jupiter in a nice, quiet, sleepy thing. That could be fun. I might do that. True crime sleep stories, where it's not covering current true crime cases, older cases that I found very interesting. A whole big, like 1 hour blah, blah, blah about this crime story, but set to quiet music and a quiet tone. Let me tell you about the story of Jeffrey Dahmer. Something like that, where you can just kind of chill out. And so I might do sleepy science. I might do sleepy true crime. You can't really do sleepy crochet. That doesn't work. And now I'm doing single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, single crochet. I mean, you want to listen to that for an hour? No, of course not. Crochet doesn't work. So um, I'm not sure I want to do crochet videos because I'm not a professional. I'm getting really good. I've been doing it for 10 years now. Um, I'm very good at what I do, but I'm certainly not a professional teacher level crocheter. I have to watch somebody else's video to make something. I don't do the written patterns. Ugh. So current trials, boss lady. I love watching trials. One thing I didn't realize when I started this channel is that, okay, covering the case and all the background and all the people, that's great. I just want to watch the trial, and I watch trials all day long. I have one content creator who I think is the absolute best at showing live trials. I'm not going to say who it is because I do not want any crap thrown at me to splash onto that person. As much as I would love to promo the channel and put it out there and be like, you gotta watch him here. This is excellent. I just can't. I can't do that to him. I think I come with too much baggage to promote another channel. Does that make sense? It sucks, but that's just how it is. So, but yes, I watch trials all the time because I love the cadence of a trial. There's a particular cadence to a trial when you're listening to it, and it's very, you kind of get lulled into it. You know, uh, I love it. But what I love is seeing how the law works. When I'm watching a trial and I hear, say, the prosecutor ask a question, and I say objection, leading, before the defense attorney says it, or by that's like, okay, I'm really getting this now. I love it. Absolutely love trial watching because I like to see how the law is applied, how it works, and all the loopholes, and it's fascinating to me. Absolutely fascinating. So yeah, trial watching it's a learning process. Absolutely. Um, and I don't know. I can't stop watching trials. Sometimes they're just so boring. Like I will not sit through 2 hours of jury instructions. I've heard them all. How many times have we heard jury instructions? I don't need to hear that again. So I fast forward that kind of stuff. I'll go take a nap and then come back later. But I'm sorry that I have to keep drinking. I know that probably sounds terrible in the microphone, but my mouth is just so dried out from the allergy meds. Oh, my nose is still running. That's terrible. I wish every judge could be either the last judge from Lord Daybell's trial or Judge Boyce. I think Judge Boyce did a pretty fair job. I had some issues with him, but then again, I was too involved in all the behind the scenes crap going on, so I may be a little biased. But the judge for Murdaugh's trial, who was he? Brang the jury. That man, I wish he could be the judge of everything. Every judge everywhere is that guy. He was so fantastic. And now I have a total brain fart. Can't remember his name. Someone put it in chat. Judge Everett was good. Yep, I liked him. So yeah, I love watching trials. And I would love to just stream trials. But what I've learned from watching this Judge Boyce, yeah. He did show that. Judge Newman, thank you. Judge Newman. He was amazing. Probably the best judge I've ever seen in all of my 10 years or whatever since OJ of watching trials. He's good. What was I going to say? I would love to to stream trials, but from watching the person that I watch, what I learned is if you want to do it right, you have to know what you're doing as far as the technology side of it. You have to know how to edit the audio on the fly. You have to know how to have multiple stream decks going and this and that in case one drops. And I'm doing that. I'm not. That's too much for me. I am too old to be learning all that stuff. So yeah, I watch trials as a personal thing that I do, but I'm not going to be streaming them. I'm not. Why not speaking about daily about spirituality? Uh, it's too polarizing. It's my version of spirituality will not be widely accepted. I don't need it to be. I don't care, but it's not something to really speak about. I learned that's something that should be intensely personal, uh, and a lot of people just jump off hearing something and not understanding what it is, and nah, that's just going to open a world of crap. Unfortunately, you wouldn't think talking about being spiritual would open all kinds of crap, but it will. It will. So I keep that kind of more or less to myself. Um, it's too personal for me to put it out there and get flack for it. I don't care. Do what you want. I'll do what I want. We'll be fine. Um, so yeah, I wanted to tell a story about the cats and the rescue and our little Emmy cat and all of her kittens. Oh, I haven't changed the picture in so long. Oh my God, I'm supposed to be changing pictures. Who's that? That is my Izzy girl with another one. She makes the best faces. Izzy is she's a sweetheart, but she's like, get this cat away from her. You know? I love Izzy. Um, they're the best animals. Oh, this cat. That is Mr. Stripe. He is the father of all of Emmy's kittens. And I have a picture somewhere. Where is it? I thought I had it on deck. It must be in the next set. Of when he was outside on the patio having lunch and the door was open because I was getting something. And Happy, which is his daughter, walked up. And Happy looks exactly like him. They are identical down to the stripes. And to see giant Stripey, because he is a tank, that cat is huge, and tiny little Happy, and they booped noses. It's like the daddy and his daughter booping. Oh, it killed me. Absolutely killed me. So yeah, that's Mr. Stripe. That was at the vet. We had to take him to the vet. He needed surgery. Uh, and he still needs to be fixed, but he's a what they call a crypt orchid, so his neuter is going to be challenging and expensive. So we haven't got him done yet. Um, Goodness. Bye, Lori FNM. I hope you have a good time at the concert and drive safe. And that sounds awesome. What a great concert. Yeah. Said that he does look part British because of his smooshy face and the wideness of his head. He really does. I have no idea where he was. He's just one of the ferals outside. Um, I say feral. The cats outside here are not ferals. They are cats who were obviously owned before and house cats. And when people moved, they just left the cats outside. It's how could you do that to this beautiful animal? So we take care of them. We get them medical care, get them food, water, all their shots. We do the revolution treatment every 90 days so they don't get fleas. I stay on them. I take very good care of them, but they're not house cats. Stripey, as much as I love him, he is not a house cat anymore. Oh, good Lord, he is not a house cat. He would spray everywhere, and it really upset the dynamic of the cats we have inside. So he just stays outside. So, but we do have cat houses we put outside in the winter. Actually, this year I'm going to buy one of those fancy schmancy heated ones that's up off the ground. It's got little legs you put on, room for blankets, food and water bowls inside. They're heated with heating pads, so we are definitely getting that. At least one of those. There should be big enough for the two or three that live on our patio outside. They're very expensive, but these guys are worth it. I love them. Better than we usually put those hand warmer packets so you can go like that in your hands and warm them up. And we put them under blankets outside in like 50-gallon totes in the winter. But having an actual proper heated cat house is going to be great. So I can't wait to get that for them. So yeah, that's our Mr. Stripey. He's a good boy. What's this one? Oh, look at those peanuts. Those are two of Emmy's first litter. The gray one on the left is Tabby, and the other one is Odie. They are with my girlfriend. She kept those two. Uh, and they are just the sweetest things. They are so sweet. Oh, here we go. I think my daughter is listening to the live stream because she just sent me the pictures of Stripey nose booping with his baby girl. Let me get that up on the screen. Hang on one second. I'm going to remove this one. Yeah, she must be listening to have just put that up. Where'd it go? I can't see. Here it is. That is the giant Mr. Stripey, the one that you saw at the vet. And that is his baby Happy at the back door. They booped noses. My heart just melted to pieces when they did that. You know, Papa and his daddy. So yeah, that is Stripey and Happy. Uh, I love these babies so much. Yeah, but those are the two peanuts. They were their eyes had just opened, so they were about what 3 weeks oldish. Their ears are still folded, so you can see they're not even a month old yet. My little peanuts. And this is them today. Not maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago. That is Tabby on the left and Odie on the right. And in their home, that's their forever home, with my friend she dotes on, you know what they have? They have little IKEA doll beds, like little wooden beds with pads and blankets and stuff. And they each have their own bed. That's how spoiled those cats are. So they are definitely being taken care of. Oh, they're great. And this is my fruitcake. This is Jack. He is my tuxedo. He is a unit. He is an absolute unit. This cat. Jack. 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 Jack is something. I don't know what to say about him. He's insane, and we love him. So let's see. Does any of these I haven't shown? Because I can only put 10 on deck at a time, 10 pictures. And then I have to go get another. There's Happy. That is Miss Izzy. Yeah, we've seen all these. Okay. I'm going to load up some more while I'm talking. One thing that I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to tell a story that's kind of sad a little bit in a way. It's not sad, but um, I have a son. He's 24 years old. He is severely autistic. So it's pretty much like having a 6-year-old in the house all the time, forever. Uh, he is the light of my life. This child is pure happiness, uh, joy, love. He is. I can't explain that. I can't put into words how much he brings to everyone's life that he touches. But he is pretty much like a 6-year-old. So he doesn't want to trick or treat so much anymore. We just buy bags of candy and call it a day. But he loves Halloween. It's his favorite holiday. So what he wanted to do this year for Halloween was to go on a hunt in the Forbidden Forest to look for centaurs, Harry Potter style, right? I'm like, well, okay. We've got the Forbidden Forest right outside, right? It's dark and spooky and dense and kind of looks forbidden to me. I wouldn't go in there. And we can do Harry Potter stuff. My son loves to dress up, so we have more capes and Harry Potter outfits and wands and stuff that you can imagine. I think we have every single wand from the movie now. It took a lot of years to collect them all. But I'm like, okay, right? So my husband and my son-in-law got dressed up. They both had their capes and things. We got some little lanterns, battery-operated lanterns they could carry. And they went outside into the woods, not into as such, but at least along the wood line, so he could hunt for centaurs last night. And that made his whole year, right? To an autistic child, when you do something like that, it absolutely made his entire year. That's baby Bakuza. And of course I took pictures. Of course we have video of it, because how could of course you're a parent, you document that stuff. And I was sitting there with my phone in my hand, like, oh, I gotta put these up on Twitter. And I'm like, oh no, I don't. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I'm not putting these on Twitter. Um, I'm not putting. Oh, that's Odie. My daughter told me that is Odie, not Bakulja. Uh, Odie's brother. They're kind of identical. So yeah. So I wanted to share. I mean, it's such a silly thing for us as adults, throw on a cape and walk up and down the woods with a lantern, whatever. But to my son, that was he's been gearing up for this for a year. And he finally got to go hunt in the real forbidden forest to look for real centaurs in his cape with his lantern. He lived out his Harry Potter dream, right? To him, he will never, ever, 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 ever forget that. Never. That's how they make their big memories, And I couldn't share it. I couldn't share it because the frickin' internet, you know? I'm not exposing my child to these flying monkey troll jackwagons. Certainly not. So yeah, that it hurt me that I couldn't share it. I shared it with a very, very few like real life type friend people. But what I said was I wouldn't share this picture with someone I wouldn't trust him with. Right? So I'm certainly not putting it on Twitter. But I wanted to because it was so cool. But that's one of the real life consequences of this kind of drama. The internet is an asshole sometimes, absolutely. But you got to understand that it is and don't do stuff, right? Just don't. Yes, I will guard him. Absolutely. I don't think I've ever put a picture of my children, either of my daughter or my son, or even now my son in law, on the internet. And I am not going to because no, it's my job to protect them, and that's what I'm going to do. But the evening was perfect. It was the perfect Halloween. It was so perfect. Uh, and I loved it. It was just great. And my husband and my son-in-law were such good sports. Oh, they got into it. My son-in-law cheesed it up just enough to be, oh, it made me so proud. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. It's like, why are you crying? It's Halloween. Because of what it meant to me to see them willingly go do this for my son. Their son, you know what I mean. Everybody was willing to jump. Let's do it. Let's do it. So yeah, it was so sweet. It wasn't anything big. We didn't go to Disneyland or whatever, but that's what he wanted to do. And that's what he got to do. And it was absolutely perfect. And then he came home and we ate all of the Reese pumpkins because that's also what you do. I do have a bag stashed in my desk, but oh shit, my daughter's listening. Damn it. I gotta stop talking so much. I forgot she's watching this. No, I don't. I ate them all. Sorry. Love you. Yeah, so that was just it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Now this, that is Bakulza. Do you see that face? Do you see that little one-eyed, glary, giant-eared gizmo cat? That is Bakulza. And next to him is his sister. Um, they were tiny. That is a tiny little box on a desk with a blanket in it and stuff. So they were just little things, but they would live either on my desk or my son-in-law's desk while they were little, pretty much with him, but every once in a while they'd come hang out here with me. I also have a cat bed on my desk. If you don't have a cat bed on your desk, are you really a cat person? You know? Uh Teresa, a video about social media safety. That's a really good idea. I'm going to take a note of that. I'm going to do that because there's a lot of things people don't think about are dangerous, but they actually are. So yeah, that is Bakulja and Happy. Bakulja is named after a video game character. There's a video game that my daughter, son-in-law, myself, and my husband all play together. My son doesn't play it. He likes he likes video games, but I don't allow him to play MMOs, multiplayer games, because I don't want him exposed to the chat. Because, whew, you think YouTube comments are bad? Spend a day in a video game. Like, wow, you're gonna get desensitized to some shit real quick. But yeah, all cat babies have blue eyes, and no, they did not stay blue. They didn't. Most of Emmy's kittens have greenish brown eyes, either green to brown. in that sliding scale. But they were all born blue, and they're so cute. Uh, that's my baby. I'm sorry you're not a fan of cats. I've been asked for a lot of cat pictures, so that's what I'm doing today. Because while I'm still waiting to get my camera and all that set up, might as well show you some cute cats. And that is also Happy and Pickles sitting in their little bed. So yeah, I wanted to tell you a story about the Halloween thing because that it just meant the world to me. But it was also a poignant reminder of the internet crap because I will not share those pictures. That made me sad, but it's all right. We still have the experience. My son's. Oh yeah, that's where I was going to go with this. My son. Uh, when I was watching Lauren's 9 Hour Live, and she said something about her son was having a lot of trauma over this. That stopped me dead in my tracks because I'm thinking, your son is 8 years old? Does he, how does he even know about this? Is he watching TikTok? What are you doing? I hope he's not watching TikTok. Uh, are you telling him about it? Like, for real? Oh, well, he overheard conversations. You don't think maybe you should have those conversations privately, right? I can't imagine a situation where if something traumatic was happening, my son would have found out about it because I was careless and talked about it in front of him. Like, what? What? How on earth? First, is your son even aware that any of this is happening? He should not know anything about it. Not a single thing. If you are telling him you're a shit parent, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. If you're telling your 8-year-old son that people from the internet are trying to come and find you and hurt you, you are a shit parent. There is no need to terrorize that child with that information. Oh, good Lord. But if you're not telling your son, which you shouldn't be, that'd be good. So then you're lying about it on a live stream to exploit him for sympathy? Girl, we are right back at shit parent. So whichever one is true, girl, oh, oh, man. And I'm sitting over here having a meltdown because I won't share because I want to share a picture of my son on the internet, and I know better than to do that. you know? And I'm like, holy cannoli. So I was thinking about that last night too. I was like, do not share the pictures of your son. You don't put that out there. Right. But my son has no idea what I do on the internet. Right. He's not gonna know. Um, yeah, no. Mm-mm. Good Lord. So yeah, that and the dad being a psychologist, yes. You would think he would know better enough to protect his own child by saying, hey, it's really a bad idea to expose young children to violent imagery, ideas, or concepts that they are ill prepared to deal with. And certainly, you don't scare the crap out of your child by telling them someone's trying to hurt your parent. Because that is going to upend that child's world 6 ways from Sunday. Of course, he wouldn't be eating or sleeping, or of course, he'd be having trauma because you traumatized him. All right? Like, goodness. Oh, you know how fierce I am about being a cat mom? I am a million times worse about being an actual person mom. You do not do that. So I had a lot of thoughts about that last night while wrestling with my internet picture issue. There's not enough Diet Coke in this world for me today. So that bothered me tremendously. All right, who do we got here? Oh, here we have Bakulja on the bottom, Izzy in the middle, and Happy up top. These are 3 siblings. Izzy is from one litter. The other 2 are from the other, from Emmy. So those are Emmy's 3 babies that currently live in my home. They're all together, and they love each other. They're fun. They're fun. Oh, look at that. Divergent. Divergent says, Uh, I just got that divergent. Haha, I am slow, but I will get there. Uh, it's a slap in the face to those of us moms who have been through real traumatic experience. Yes, it has. My ex-husband. There's a whole podcast on my channel about my crazy, violent, abusive ex-husband, and how I shielded my children from it as best I could. I didn't know what was going on at the time things happened, but I'm certainly not going to sit here and have a long talk with my autistic son about this crazy ex person who might be wandering the world trying to hurt me. You don't do that. Your job as a parent is to make your child feel that every moment of the day they are perfectly safe, they are perfectly loved, they are perfectly wanted, and you will always be there to have their back for anything. That's your job. You make them feel safe. You don't scare the crap out of them. So personally, I don't think she's told her son anything. I think she's just lying saying that. I hope that I would rather be mad at her for lying about it and exploiting him that way than thinking he's actually really traumatized, because how could you do that? How could you do that? Oh, goodness. So yeah, that's my whole thoughts on Lauren's son. This this is little baby Cricket. She's our newest baby in the house. She was brought to me. They found her alone outside, just maybe a few days to a week old. Uh, Tons of vet bills. She was very sick. I didn't think she was going to make it. I did not think she was going to make her first night, but she did. She did. My son-in-law just scooped her up and said, "I fix." Right? And took her to their room and took care of her and fed her around the clock for weeks and got her to the vet, and she's great. And that's her cat house. That is her. She's the newest cat in the house and the tiniest cat in the house, and she has let all of the other cats in the house know that that is her cat house. They can go get their own. Anyone goes up on there, she will dive bomb them and beat them up till they get off her house. She is a spitfire, this cat. I love her. I don't think I have it. Oh, wait, here. This was baby Crickus just a couple days after we got her. We had to give her a bath because she was all matted and nasty and gross. And that's her chilling on the bed. She was maybe 3 inches long, if that. So, yeah, that's her baby. I love her. Uh, she is a spitfire. She's not a cuddly cat. You can't just pick her up and hold her. You pick her up and she'll be like, "Oh, hi," and just start chewing all over you and attacking your head. And yeah, she is a lot. That cat is a lot. But I love her to pieces, and she's doing great. She's very, very healthy. She actually just had her boosters last week. So, yeah, we have very active community here. Uh, Goodness. That's her also sleeping in. It's a very small cat bed, but she was a very, very small cat. So there's plenty of room in there for her friends. Oh. And that, you see, there's a big cat in the foreground. That is Bakulja. When we brought Crickus into the home, Bakulja decided that that was his baby. He literally picked her up and carried her around the house. There was one day, my daughter went to the bathroom, and the kitten, we have play area set up for the baby kittens when we first get them. A cordoned off area that they can't get out of, with blankets and toys and litter and food and houses and climate, all the toys that they need, everything they need, in an enclosed area so they're safe. Uh, my daughter went to the bathroom and Bakulja got concerned, like, "Oh no, you can't leave the baby behind." He jumped in the enclosure, picked her up, jumped out, and brought her to the bathroom to my daughter, be like, "Hey, you can't leave the baby alone." You know? So yeah, that's Bakulja. He decided that was his baby. He was going to take care of her. Uh, and in this picture, she's just sitting there with him. But this is more what she really does to him. She's here grabbing his ear and just chomping on him. Just absolutely chomping away. Because that's what they do. Yeah. Where's this folder? Cats, new folder. I got a new picture. Okay. Yeah, my kids are still sending more cat pictures because there are literally, I could honestly, I swear to God, I could do a 9-hour live stream with these babies. What else we got? Anyone's here I haven't shown you. Okay, I'm going to do a topic and come up with 10 more pictures while we're doing that. Let me check chat. What's going on over here in chat? You don't think John wants to know the extent of Lauren's perfidy? He is about protecting his income. Yeah, yeah, I do think most of what they're doing right now is protecting their money. You know, again, so sorry about having to do that. I'm so sorry. Um, yeah, I have some pictures when our first bath that we gave Quirkus, a new baby kitten. We did it outside because it was a really, really hot summer day, and they need to be really, really hot and warm. But I don't want to show the pictures of the exterior of my apartment, just in case somebody tries to find out where it is. So no, it's too distinctive coloring and paint out there. So, all right, what should I talk about while I load up more cat pictures? I was going to talk about the Halloween thing. We talked about the sun thing. We talked about protecting your kids. We talked about the cat rescue of Bakulja and his tree adventure. It's a crazy animal. He's so crazy. Um, I really don't have anything more to say about Gertrude. She hasn't popped up again yet, so hopefully she took that to heart and is staying away. So while I load up more cat pictures, do you have any questions for me? I know a lot of people want to know who I am and what I'm about, and I'm not even sure what to say. So what do you want to know? Do I guess and ask me anything. If I can answer it, I will. Let's put this one on the screen while I put the other ones down. I really don't like that I can only load 10 at a time. Because then you have to stop talking and go load more. That's not fun. And now looking at the folder, I can't even remember which ones I pulled up, which ones I didn't. Oh, darn it. That one maybe. Let's put that one on the screen. That is baby Quirkus laying on a brown. I crocheted her little fuzzy bear like wubby blanket. Look at, she's literally as long as my finger. She was so tiny. That's our baby. Um, who is putting money on Lori Dumbbell's account? Okay, that's a good question. I can't tell you. Okay, I don't know the exact name of whatever. All I do know is that at one point I was asked, "Hey, do you know who this person is?" And I didn't know. I was like, "I don't know. Why?" Well, because they're putting money on Lori's books. Oh, huh. Nope. I don't know. I never gave it another thought. That was years ago. So I don't know who they are in relation to this current mess. I don't exactly remember the name that I was asked. I have a vague idea. If I heard it, I'd probably, yeah, that was it. But I don't know. I can't say. A lot of people on the internet are saying it was Grayson. I don't think it was. I think I would have remembered that name, unless that's not her real name. So I don't know. Um, I don't know if it's public information. Uh, I would like to find out because I do believe at the time that it was an employee of Lauren. So, one second. All right, there we go. But that's more of a question for Annie Elise. She would probably know, and she would be the one to answer that question, unless you can get that through a FOIA request. I don't know. I've never tried to do something like that. So, uh, let's see. I remember both Nate and Gigi saying they put money on. Oh, did they really? Trying to get an interview from her? Wow. Huh. See, I didn't even do that. Well, these people mad at me for. I didn't do that. Goodness. Uh, yeah, I am. See, I'm scrolling back through chat to see if there's questions. I'm sure there's stuff I missed because I haven't really been able to read, especially while I'm loading cat pictures. You know. See, I cannot answer who put the money in the books. I don't remember the name that I was asked. And certainly the rest of that is not public. Someone across the channel the other day with a guy just had a live cam on raccoons living inside. Yeah, that's. We do have a couple raccoons that come up to eat almost every night. One of them did bite my husband, so he had to go through the whole process with all the shots, and that was unpleasant for him. So if you feed raccoons, don't reach out and try to pet them because they will bite you. You know, they're cute and they're fluffy and they like to eat, but yeah, we're not petting them. There are the people defending Lauren by spinning circles around the fact that Lauren lies and betrays people. Well, that's what they do. That's what they do. Like, a lot of people have come to me yelling at me like, well, aren't you doing the same thing? You're harassing her and you're being mean to her. I'm like, there's a really big difference here. Okay. Yes, I'm mean, I guess, to Lauren Matthias because of what she did to me. All right. So when you just find someone and just be mean to them for no good reason, that's pretty nasty. When you make someone angry by being mean to them, you can expect that person to say some mean stuff back, right? So if you think I'm being mean to Lauren, tough. I don't know, tough. Uh, Deal with it, get over it, cry harder, whatever you want to say. But she did mean shit to me first. So if you don't want people being mean to Lauren, tell Lauren to stop doing mean shit to people. Right? You stop trying to twist the narrative around, and it just makes me nuts. It really does. Oh, here's a picture they want me to share. Guys, this is technical. I have to click lots of buttons to do this. It's not saved in the right format or something. Whatever. I'm not going to fight with it. Yeah, she made a lot of money on that 9-hour video. That's crazy. That's great. And people are yelling at me for grifting. You're just grifting off the drama. I'm like, all right, let's talk about this. I spent $45 on that Clidio website so I could make a video because I don't have my software anymore. I just have to download it. I didn't feel like doing that. I had to run out and buy some cabling for this microphone. I had to get this. I had to get that. I've spent money to do what I've done the last 5 days. Okay, I have spent money. I haven't made money. My channel is not monetized. Hello. I don't make anything. Even if YouTube puts ads on it, YouTube does that, and that's nasty. They put ads on unmonetized channels, and they take all the money. It's like if I pop that button, I get some of that money, right? That's how it's supposed to work. Don't put ads on my videos if I'm not monetized. That's some shit. YouTube, quit it. So yeah, I am. I'm in the hole for this, right? I'm spending my own money to do this. So that's reverse grifting. I'm a bad grifter. I'm so bad at it, I've lost money. Stop yelling at me. Goodness. Kresha, good morning. Well, I guess it's not morning. Kresha, she needs to engage in introspection and conduct a more thorough examination until she realizes that the world doesn't owe her anything and that the actions have repercussions. It's revealing to observe who generated this drama, Lauren and her 9-hour pity party. That is the whole thing. That is the whole thing. If she had never made that live stream, would any of us be here? We wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be here. I'd be off doing my normal stuff. I'd be playing with these animals, right? I would have never known about it, would have thought. And hi, Kresha, if you want to come on stream, let me know. I will ask you to tell me how to do that again because I don't know how to send you a link to it. Did you read my account? No, let me scroll up. I just saw that one. Oh, I don't see one above that. Oh, I don't see it. I see the two. Goodness. Of course, remember my eyes are like not working today. I'm having trouble. Oh. Needs to engage in introspection. Virtuous individuals, she would experience a more fulfilling life. That is very true. Can I apply astrophysics to the rise and fall of YouTube? Yeah, probably. Actually, I can. Actually, yeah. Yeah, I can. We can talk about uh different tiered civilizations, and yeah, we could do that. That'd be fun. There could be my dissertation. Maybe we just found it out. astrophysics applied to the YouTube algorithm. That'd be good. Yeah, Christian, if you want to come up, just jump up and down. I will. I'm trying to watch chat. I'm trying to see. Put lots of brightly colored emojis so I can see it clearly. Oh goodness. I have glasses. They don't work. They're readers. So if I put them on and try to see my screen, it makes it 10 times worse. So I need screen reading readers or something. I don't know. But anyway, to get back to Crash's point, absolutely. If she had been quiet, nobody would have known. Christina would have known because they were doing the court thing. Her witnesses would have known that, but they weren't talking. Did anyone hear any whisper of this happening before that live stream? I don't think so. So she did that to herself. And that's why my first video I was like, "Lauren, let me help you because girl, you are not seeing what you're doing." Right? And certainly I have experience and how to cope with the internet coming down on you thanks to her. But still, I wanted to help her because when I went through it, I had the same struggle. And I did a live stream. I actually way, way, way back. It's private now, but somebody did snag it and upload it to their channel because stupid. I might just copyright strike them. Actually, that'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. But I did a live stream ranting and just having my crash out because we didn't call it a crash out then. But I was so angry and I was putting receipts on the screen. Look, 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 look. They're lying. They're lying. Just blah. Because I was so enraged by what they were doing. And I privated that right away because that was a bad move. That was a really bad move, right? Because way to draw attention to yourself, you know? I was like, all right, so I made that private and then I just went away, right? Now, I'm sure Lauren is not sitting there thinking one of her options is to just walk away, just stop making videos, get off social media, turn off your devices, and walk away. I don't think Lauren can even conceive of doing that, you know? I'm likely off about this, but didn't his mother pass away some time back? Talking about, oh, I have no idea. No idea at all. So, my kitty needs to make eyebrows. I will do that. I will find a cat picture and I will put McArches on him and I will upload that to Twitter or wherever. Yes, I will. That's a good idea. Hey, daughter, if you're listening, find a cat picture to draw some really good McArches eyebrows on, and drop it to me in Discord. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, I don't think Lauren has the mental capacity to even process the idea of walking away. And as we know, just yesterday, I was looking at Twitter, and Sleuthy Goosey posted another cease and desist that was sent to someone. That person's identity is not being released, and that's smart. That's if you know who it is, don't say who it is. Don't. If you know, just keep that quiet. Um, my daughter says she won't disgrace our babies with McArches. I'll do it. It's funny. Oh, oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? That's not one of our cats, is it? Oh, how can I put this on the screen? Uh, let me see. Let me save it. I think we found a cat with McArches already. Where'd it go? It's too good. It's not working. It's not. Ugh, file format's different, right? Never mind. Anyway, so I would love to have sat down with Lauren. If she had messaged me on day one after my first video, right? When I was like, please let me help you. I can help you fix this because I could see the situation very clearly. And I wanted to help her because even though I think she's making all kinds of mistakes, um, I still think at part she is hurting. She is. She's terrified. We can tell she's terrified from reading that cease and desist order, right? Um, and I get why she's terrified, because she has built her empire, her Milton multi-million dollar, I don't know if it's multi-million. I don't know how much money she has. I don't care. But she's built a very large empire off her YouTube channel, right? And covering these cases. And she doesn't want to lose that. But I think whatever she knows is out there that could come out, uh, she's terrified of, 'cause she knows that would probably end her channel completely. That would probably end her career for a long time, at least public facing career. That'd be the end of it. And yeah, you know, of course she's terrified to lose that. Of course. She could fix it. The people, one thing I found are people are actually really forgiving, right? Um, I'm probably too forgiving, more than I should be. But if she came out today and did a 9-hour live stream being apologetic, right? And being honest, saying, look, here's what I did. I was mad, and I was said something about the family one day, and I said something about this, and I was a horrible, nasty person. You know what I mean? I would think with enough sincerity, she'd have to learn sincerity, which is not her strong suit at all. But if she could figure out how to be sincere, and if we felt that she genuinely felt remorse for these things, she would build her thing back up over time. She could. She could. You know, I tried that. I did come out and say, yeah, I'm talking to Mark Means. No, the guy doesn't employ me, but yeah, I'm talking to him. I told you I was talking about him. And no, people still hate me for that, because they can't get out of their heads the garbage that Lauren Matthias put into them, right? And that's sad, because it's ridiculous. They're fine with her talking to Jim Griffin, though. Okay, because what, we like Alec Murdoch? I mean, what's the difference here? But whatever, whatever. People, they flip on a dime, and that's something that a lot of the flying monkey type people do not notice about themselves. Is if person A does this action, that person A must be annihilated. Person B does this action, because we're on person B's side, that's the greatest thing ever. They're so smart. Uh, all right. You can't fight against that. There's no way to fight against that. So just let it go. And that's something Lauren is going to have to accept. She's going to have to accept that a lot of people will not ever forgive her. Okay? And I understand how terrifying that feels for her. But if she wanted to rebuild, there are more people out there. You'll find new people, you meet new people. You just start over, do better. Do a lot better, but do better. And she's not ready to accept that. She doesn't see that as a possibility, and I get that. I'm never going to watch her channel. I'm never going to be a fan of hers because of what she's done to me, starting there. But that's the tiniest infraction she has, right? Out of everything that I have heard the last 24 hours, looking into Delphi and Baldwin and Murdoch, what she did to me in the Vallow case was a little itty bitty bitty smidgen, a drop in the water. Probably why she hasn't responded to me, because she's like, girl, I got bigger things to worry about than you right now, because she does. From me, then we start moving up the ladder. And certainly to me, the biggest infraction is what she's done to the family, to Kresha and to Kay and to Larry, etc. Hopefully Colby will get out of this unscathed. I hope, for his sake. Uh, and don't forget, Annie Cushing is family. I know she's a very controversial figure in all this, but she is family. She is. Okay? All of them should be 100% off limits for your criticism. I don't know why that's hard. That's not hard. It's not hard. I heard she said something bad about Tylee. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. A one step up from saying bad about surviving family members is saying bad things about a young, beautiful girl that was murdered. If she said anything bad about Tylee, she's toast. She's not coming back. I retract all of my statements about you could rebuild. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Get out now. Get out now. Because you think I'm mad that you said something mean about Kresha. You wait till I find out you said something mean about Tylee. And then we're going to have a whole new kind of live stream. Oh, no. Dude. Oh, no. Oh, Kresha, I hope that's not true. Uh-uh. I have to keep my channel unmonetized because the words that are going to come out of my mouth are not going to be monetizable. Mm. Attorney sent a cease and desist to YouTube creator. I've heard that it was sent to a former employee, but we don't know because the name is not being released. It could be a YouTube creator. Could be. Who knows? I would love to see her send one to Turtle Boy. Imagine the betero lettero we'd get out of that. Oh, that would be amazeballs. Please send Turtle Boy a cease and desist, just because I want to see what Mark Betero does with that. That would be something. Um, Grayson Beyond Redemption. I have a lot of feelings about the Grayson situation. Let me have a sip of soda. Let's talk about Grayson for a minute. Yeah, Annie Cushing has said some things about other family, and like, I don't touch the Annie Cushing thing. I'm not touching it because in order to even to report on it about what happened without any emotion behind it, I would have to say negative things. And I'm not saying a negative thing about a family member. I don't care if it's Annie. I don't care who it is. Not doing it. Not doing it. Okay. Uh, Krisha says, I was watching that live the whole time, Grish, but I quickly realized it had nothing to do with any stalker. Yeah, she's hiding text. That's literally all it is. She is hiding her own behavior. Okay? I hope people are starting to see that. Not you guys get that. But the people that are still supporting her, please realize that all Lauren is doing is trying to hide her own behavior from you because she knows if you knew about it, you wouldn't like her anymore. Okay? Does that not make sense to you? Right? That's what Lauren is doing. She's still pulling one over on you so you will keep giving her money. That's all it is. That is all that's happening. All right. But yeah, I did want to hit on Grayson. I do a lot of stuff with narcissism. All right. Now I am not calling Lauren Matthias a narcissist because I'm not a psychologist. And even if I was, you cannot diagnose someone over the dang internet. You have to sit and evaluate them. Dr. John does his own freaking thing. But Lauren Matthias exhibits all of the hallmarks that you find in classical narcissism. You open the DSM-5, you are going to see every single hallmark listed apparent in Lauren Matthias's behavior. I'm not making that up. I'm not being hyperbolic. It's black and white. Go read it. Okay? So, I don't know if she's a narcissist because I don't evaluate people and I don't diagnose people. But I can look at a list of hallmarks and a list of behaviors and compare the two. All right? And in my personal opinion, as someone who's been studying narcissistic abuse for 20 years, she fits. She fits the bill for narcissistic behaviors. She doesn't fit the bill for narcissism because I can't make that determination. So, knowing people like that, all right, we have to look at the people in their orbit. Grayson, I'm not saying Grayson is a narcissist. Narcissists always have their targets, right? They're very codependent relationships. Extremely codependent relationships. Grayson is a codependent. That's not a diagnosis. Grayson, let me rephrase that. Grayson's behavior is that of someone who is codependent on a narcissist. Okay, in this case, Grayson's behavior is that of someone who is codependent on Lauren Matthias, who exhibits narcissistic behavior. I have to use 4,000 more words than I should to have to say this right. God. This is irritating. Um, in the you speak out both sides of your mouth, get off your high horse. Get the fuck out of my chat. Jesus Christ. Stop making me swear. You don't like it? Go somewhere else. You don't have to sit here and watch it. Okay? Um, jeez. Grayson exhibits someone who's in a relationship with a narcissist. She's been loved bombed, she's been hoovered, she's been all of that stuff. And I think Grayson if Grayson fits the standard textbook bill of someone in her position, then she most likely feels like she cannot leave Lauren, right? That her life would be completely over if she walked away from Lauren. Right? She feels like I owe everything to Lauren. Lauren has made me who I am today. She is the most wonderful person I have ever known in my life. I cannot turn my back on her. I cannot see her any other way than perfection. Um, and I can't think for myself if I leave her. What do I do? Right? It, Grayson leaving is no real different. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. You know what I'm thinking? When it came to the point for me to leave my ex, uh, I tried 100 times. Tried. Couldn't do it. How am I going to live? How am I going to survive? How am I going to take care of my children? How am I going to wake up in the morning? How am I going to brush my teeth without him? You get to a point where you literally feel that you can't function without your narcissist with you, because they spend years, if you're with them that long, chipping away at the fact that you think you can take care of yourself, right? They teach you that you can't function without them. And this is something that they do over a long period of time, very slowly, but they're constantly chipping away at your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your sense of intelligence, you know, all of that. They chip away at that stuff over and over and over and over. Uh, and it happens very, very slowly. You don't see it happening. You're just like, oh, I feel bad. I felt bad today. And then that I feel bad today's happen all the time, right? And then they tell you that you feel bad because you're stupid or you don't know what's going on. It's your fault you feel bad. It's never their fault you feel bad. Never. So I'm thinking if that's the dynamic of relationships, Grayson is having some issues right now. You know, I'm sure she is playing it off as these stupid haters. They're just haters. They don't know anything. They're dumb. They're haters, right? And that will carry her for a while. It will. At some point, she's going to have to sit down and deal with it. She's going to have to reconcile with the fact that maybe they're not just haters. And at that point, her choice is to stay and try to help Lauren fight against it. Well, I know, I know. Why don't we put this out? Because that'll convince people. Oh, wait, let me do this social media post. Here, this will help. This will help. Oh, look, I found this bad thing about that person. Let's put that out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then they'll look at that. Grayson will do that for a while. And that will carry her another month or two of doing that, you know. But then there's going to be a point where she can't even do that anymore. And she's either going to go down with Lauren and then have to scuttle off on her own and make a new life, or she will flip and she'll say, wait a minute, you did some crappy things. No wonder they're mad at you. She will allow herself to come into reality. Um, but yeah, she's not a child. She is 100% responsible for her own behavior. I get that. But there are times when certain types of people with certain codependent tendencies can be very easily manipulated by someone like a narcissist. That's just how it works. Free Spare says, you are not mentally well yourself. What are you doing, lady? You obviously need attention and revenge against LM. You are amazingly codependent at a minimum. Oh, I was still reading it. Yeah. Okay. Go diagnose people with Dr. John. Get the fuck out of here. Um, goodness. Oh. Awen, how were you able to trust and open your heart to find new love in a new hubby again? Um, all right. I'll tell you. It's kind of funny. Um, I was with my ex, and we one of the times I had kicked him out of my house about 20 times, right? Because, but I kept taking him back because I didn't know anything about narcissism, codependency, nothing like that back then. I was young. Okay, I was very young. And one of the times he was out, I was playing on AOL. This is back in the days of AOL chat rooms. Yes, I am Gen X. I'm not lying. Uh, and I had met someone in an AOL chat room, um, and he was really funny. He was just funny, and we were laughing and just joking around, um, and he expressed an interest in me in that way. I said, "Oh, no, I've got too much baggage stuff going on. It's too complicated." "Okay, okay, okay." So, we went our separate ways, right? Unfortunately, that man, because we were both very much attracted to each other, and I was like, "I have got this ex in and out of my life. You don't need that." And he's like, "All right, okay, bye." Right? So just went out about my life. Had another couple of years with my ex. When my ex left for the last time, when I finally grew a pair and said, "Okay, this time you're gone. This time you're actually really gone," and that was it. I was completely in myself, gray rock. Of course, then I knew about narcissism, so I was gray rocked. I was no contact, the whole 9 yards. I did the whole process. Had all my family involved. My mom was great. So yeah, that was it. It was really gone. I was online. I was like, oh, meh. And I was pouting. So I went to my happy AOL chat room that I used to hang out in all the time. And this person popped in there. He was like, I'm not trying to get in on your space. I just want to see how you were. We haven't talked in a couple of years. How you doing? And I said, well, actually, I'm doing great. I just kicked him out for good today, and got to make some changes in my life. I have to move and do all this good stuff, and da 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 da. Moving actually, the plan was to move completely across the country to make sure he couldn't find me. And he was like, "Wow, I'm proud of you. That must have been hard." And yeah, it was really hard. Um, but we just talked about it. There was no flirting, no nothing. He was just listening and being a solid ear, which is what I needed at that time. I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to bed." He said, "Okay, good night." And I woke up in the morning and I had an email from him. I was like, oh, look, an email. Okay. And I opened it and it had one word, just said, lick. And I was like, ah, hell no. Now I got to marry you. I think that was actually my reply. And you know what? We've been married for 20 years. So that, it wasn't, I had made the decision I'm never dating again. That's it. I'll be a single mom. I like being alone. I'm fine being alone. So I was like, yeah, no more men. That didn't last more than 12 hours because I was so attracted to my husband, even back when we were just chatting in text and AOL chat rooms. And there was something there. And you want to hear the funniest story? You're never going to believe this. I'm going to have to get the documents. We still got them somewhere to show you. When my husband moved here, we were going through his boxes of stuff and everything, and he came out with a folder with some papers in it. I was like, and he starts laughing. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, you probably don't want to read these. I was like, what is it? He's like, whenever I'd have a good chat with someone, and what do they call it? Instant messaging was the DM of the day. Um, I would print it out and save it because I'd want to re- relive it another time because they were funny stories and they were just great moments. Okay, because my husband is a Terry Pratchett fan. He loves that kind of very creative wordplay, as do I. So a lot of our text messages would go that way, and there's like, "Oh, we should publish that. That's brilliant." So he would print out conversations he had with people to save them to maybe someday put them in a book or something. So I grabbed the folder. I'm looking. I was like, "Oh, how many women were you talking to?" Right. So I'm looking through, expecting to see women talk. And the first one is like, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's me. That was my screen name." Do. The next one, I'm looking at the conversation, and I say, that's one of my, I had like 12 screen names. It's like, that's my other screen name. And that guy, that was you? He's like, yeah, that was my other screen name. Uh, that was me. He's like, that's you? No way. Right? And there must have been 6 or 7 of these papers of conversations between a male and a female, completely different screen names, that actually were all our own screen names. So we were talking to each other as 6 or 7 different screen names and not realizing we were each other. Can you imagine? It was mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. So we were kind of meant to be. We're kind of meant to be. So even when we weren't talking to each other, we still were. And boy, we laughed so hard sitting there on the floor reading these papers, and he still has them somewhere in the closet, because it was, yeah, the universe, we were not getting out of it even if we tried to at that point. So yeah, it was absolutely meant to be. I'm one of those people who believes that for me to be where I am in my life today, every single thing that happened had to happen. It had to happen that way. And I am grateful. So would you go back and change the past? No, no, because it's all brought me exactly to this point. And that's good. It's a good point. So yeah, that's the story of how I healed my heart after my narc ex and found my new husband. Hmm. All right, we catch back up the chat. Um, Lauren continues to dig deeper. Donna, she really does. She really does. And I don't understand why. At some point, you would think even the whatever thing, uh, I can't say a psychological word because I don't want it to sound like I'm diagnosing. But you think at some point anyone would clue into the fact that they're making it worse, you know? And she hasn't clued into that yet. The C&D is just a whole nother thing. It's like, why would you know everybody is watching everything you do right now? So you do something to make yourself look worse again? How? How? I don't get it. Granny Weatherwax, hi, it's so good to see you. You'll remain single for the rest of my life, over 4 years, and I love being, that was my plan too. I'm one of those people, I am perfectly happy being alone. I never get bored. And I don't usually get lonely because I have my books and my games and my projects, my arts and my crafts and my cats and my plants and my garden. I have so much that I like to do every day that I could fill my day with my own self and be absolutely happy. I like the quiet. I like the peace. Like if I want it noisy, I want to be the one to turn the radio on. I don't want anyone else putting their radio on around me. Stop it. My quiet time. So that's just it. That's just it. I was happy. It didn't work. The universe had other plans, and I'm happy it did. Sometimes it knows better than we do. Uh, Chris says yes, her fiance, they're planning marriage on 2/2/20. Lori was arrested in Kauai that very day. Oh my goodness. Oh, Chris, I never knew that. And he got sick, and the cases and the other traumatic events just changed mine. Just love him. Oh, wow. Oh, man, I had no idea it was that exact day. Mm. Awen, when you mentioned AOL chat rooms, gave me an idea for you, a live about life in the past for Gen X. That would be fun too. Yeah, what was life like back then? You know, um, studying astrophysics uh, is fun for me because obviously all the newer kids around have no idea what was like. Like we had a professor ask a question once: if you could bring back any scientist from the past, from history, and sit down and show them stuff from today, who would you pick and why? And I chose Einstein. Obviously, I'm a nerdy geek, and I chose a cell phone. Imagine sitting there with Albert Einstein and showing him a cell phone and what it does. Dude would drop dead again on the spot. Remember, this was the guy who fought again. No, I'm not going into science. But the way Albert Einstein approached information and things that he hated about quantum mechanics, he despised it. He's like, yeah, that's probably a thing. I hate it. I don't like it. Showing him a cell phone would put him right over the edge. Absolutely. It would be fun. So yeah, I think about Gen X, and when I see a cell phone, I am never not amazed by it. Exactly, he is why. If we didn't have time dilation and all the things, we would never, if we didn't understand that we couldn't do GPS without relativity, it wouldn't happen. So yeah, but he hated things like spooky action active distance and quantum entanglement. Hated those concepts with a passion, even though he agreed, yeah, it's a thing. I just hate it. So for him to see a cell phone, he would lose his mind. Absolutely lose his mind. Um, it would be great. Oh, I would love to see what he would think of AI. I'd love to see what he think. There's so many things, so many things. But yeah, for Gen X, when we used to talk on the phone, you had to stand at the wall in the kitchen because you were tied to the dang phone, and you had to use your finger and spin it around to dial things. You didn't just push buttons. So I'm still amazed by stuff like cordless phones. Cell phones are just like almost too much for me. Yeah, so oh, it's so much fun. We had a long cord, but the long cord would always get all twisted up. Uh, yeah, I was just reading chat. I don't know about Lauren's financial situation back then. I know she was no different because I had my channel already going when Lauren started hers, and she was no different than anyone else. She'd had her camera in her living room. She wasn't all fancy schmancy pants back then. Didn't have the plastic surgery, didn't have all the fancy foo-foo clothes and stuff, and she didn't have the snotty ass attitude that she does now. She developed that over the last 4 or 5 years. When she started, she seemed more approachable and more down to earth. But I think the larger her channel got, the more attention she got, it went straight up that head, and poof, now we have what we have. Um, yeah. Yes, I have a rotary phone in my closet. I just can't throw it out. I just can't. Oh, it was fun. Yeah, being Gen X is a lot of fun because man, the kids these days, you would never have survived one summer the way we lived back then. Uh, she's sending cease and desist to mentally stable and ethical forensic psychologists. Creator who's critically analyzing trauma content. No way. Huh. Goodness. So if the that cease and desist was to a creator who's just talking about her case and analyzing her and stuff. So that's not even someone coming out with damaging information. That's just someone voicing an opinion on her behavior. Well, you can take your remember a cease and desist is a suggestion, right? If you get a cease and desist in the mail, it is a suggestion for you to not say some things, right? It is not a legal order from a court. It's telling you, hey, if you do this, we're probably going to go at you. Oh yeah, you want some new kitten pictures? Let's see if I can find some that I haven't done before. So a cease and desist is not. They don't have to go to a judge and say, "Hey, judge, they're doing these mean things. Can you make them stop?" No, they just send you the cease and desist that says, if you continue doing this, then we're going to go to a judge and we're going to file charges or whatnot. Okay. So it's good to listen to a cease and desist because you have to really weigh, maybe talk with a lawyer um, and see if you are in jeopardy, right, of running afoul of the legal system. Um, but the cease and desist itself is just them saying, "Hey, stop it." Remember when I got into it with preparing a people in the Vallow case, Michael and Nancy James, uh, they they sent me a cease and desist. Not exactly. They sent a letter. An email. Actually, Nancy James sent me an email saying, "This is a formal cease and desist. You will cease and desist right now." I'm like, "Wait, what? That's not how that works. You don't email a cease. No, you can't just type it up. Like this is a cease and desist. Okay, all right, whatever, Nancy James. Um, so these are all ones I've already shown. I think that's pretty cool shot. Um, So yeah, if you get a cease and desist, it is them being a bully. It's them trying to instill fear. It's them trying to get you to behave a certain way that they want you to behave without yet going through, the legal process. But if they send, like, say she sent me a cease and desist saying, "Stop talking about me on your live streams." Okay, like, all right, no, I'm not going to stop talking about you on my live stream. I have every right to talk about you on my live stream. Um, Tylee, not Ty, it always autocorrects to Tyler. I hate that. But Tylee's aunt put out a statement that seems to point towards Lauren talking badly about Tylee. If Annie Cushing, one thing about Annie Cushing is Annie Cushing gets her facts straight. Okay. If Annie Cushing said that she has proof that Lauren was bad mouthing Tylee, I would believe Annie Cushing any day, all day, every day. So if she said that, oh dear, um, I'm gonna have to look into that. I might even reach out to Annie and see if I can find that out. I will put that on blast. I would put that all over everything because that's not okay. That's not okay. So, Krisha, if you find about that, if you don't want to put it on blast, I will. And if you do, I'll be right there behind you, jumping up and down. So yeah, that's what a cease and desist is. Um, so if she sent me one saying "Don't talk about me," I'd be like, "All right, stop." And what you do is you call a lawyer. You say, "Here's what I've had said so far before the C&D, and here's what I'd like to say after the C&D," and they will weigh whether you should do it or not. Right? They cannot stop you from saying, like, there's nothing Lauren Matthias can do to me to tell me to stop saying I don't like what Lauren Matthias did. You can't do that. You just can't. Now, I can't get up here and make up a story about, well, Lauren, I saw Lauren Matthias at this place punch so and so in the nose. No, you can't do that. Okay. So you do have to watch what you say, plan what you say, and don't make up lies. That's not a good idea. But yeah, a lot of people do it. Um, is Kresha still here? Do you want to come up, Kresha? Want me to send you a link? To have an invite people link. What's this? Invite guest to studio. Copy. Go to email. Find Kresha. Where's Kresha? There's Kresha. Reply. Okay. I put a link in your email, Kresha. If you want to come up. I'm getting a little fired up about this Tylee thing. Please don't have said bad things about Tylee, because I will make it my life's mission to bring awareness to how bad it is to speak ill of a murder victim, a young child murdered. Like, cannot do that. Please tell me, God, she didn't do that. And I'm going to have to go down and, like, all of my videos are now lies. If she did that, there's nothing in hell, nothing in the universe that would make me help that woman. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So please tell me that she did not do that. Anyone? Oh, goodness. AC says that Kay is at fault for Jay. Oh, she didn't say that. No. Did she really? Because now I have to deal with my thing about we don't say bad things about the family. Uh, mm, Only one text with your name. Good Lord. All right. Annie Cushing's statement implies Lauren spoke bad about Tabby. All right. As the game has changed. Oh, man. Yeah, Crusher, there's an email to StreamYard in your link if you want to come up. Oh, removing these cat pictures so I can see my thing. Um, I gotta ponder this. I am not at this point going to say anything even remotely negative about Annie Cushing. When I first met Annie, I found her absolutely delightful, smart as a whip. Uh, I really liked her energy. I clicked with her pretty hard, pretty fast for a very short amount of time. That's it. That's all I'm saying about Annie Cushing. Okay. Uh, so I need to dig into that carefully. Hi Donna, how are you? Someone responsible for separating the victim. Yeah, Betty Boop. That definitely happened. They were driving wedges between all of the family members from very early on, and I can tell you, uh, two people that did a dang good job of that. Oh, there she is. Hold on, let me get you up. Crash, are you there?
Yes,
I did it right. Yeah.
you
Ooh,
did
look at us
it.
go.
Now I'm in a bubble. Hey, this is so much easier.
Isn't it though? It is. It
Yes.
really is. Uh, I didn't know she said something mean about Tylee.
I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I even clarified that, but I mean, just
She,
for
yeah,
anybody in the chat, it's like it sucks because you can't really write all that in that little bitty space, you know.
yeah. Well,
Um, it was just I mean, the rumors are swirling. So all this because of Lauren did not want to face what she don't want to, reap what she sows. That's what.
right, right.
So I believe it looks like to me, in my opinion, straight up, she looks like she created all that drama with the stalker gathering evidence, all that shit. Okay,
Yep.
to cover it.
Yeah.
Like, let
She
me
thought she'd
make
get
pity
enough
me, victim
sympathy.
me. I'm a victim. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Then discredit by creating evidence because there was evidence of no evidence. I'll tell you that. That's what it looks like to me.
Yep.
And I wish, like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't even care. It's up to the people if they want to support, but I'm done with them flying. Okay.
Oh
Their
yeah.
frequent flyer miles are getting wore out, you know?
Yep.
Got to ground
Yep.
all them planes and
Oh
park it.
man. Well,
And
I
park
came
it.
to that I got to that place yesterday when I started looking into what Lauren did in Delphi and all those other cases because I wasn't
Allegedly.
following allegedly. I wasn't following her or anything she was doing after I stopped doing YouTube. So I follow those cases but not anywhere near her. So I was like I suddenly felt like, "Oh, no wonder she hasn't come at me yet because I am nothing compared to these other problems she has."
I mean,
Like,
right?
holy
I mean, we
cow.
know she's an agent of chaos.
Yes.
So we know that there are others, right? So this is just her norm. I'm thinking.
Yep. Yep.
So
Man. But yeah,
yeah,
if
oh, I'm sorry. I just saw just me's comment, and
I
yeah, that's what I think too. I don't look. I'm not gonna sit here and make anybody choose. That is not. Please don't. I've always tried to be respectful, and I just that was crazy. I was like, I thought I'd be dubbed the conspiracy theorist. Like, come on.
right.
I don't see it, and I mean, I looked, I follow, like you said, you know me, I go everywhere, I watch everything, I do it whether I agree or don't, because it all matters, especially Annie, because she was so good at presenting it, and I, wanted to be like her with that. But she's also caused a lot of, she said a lot of things, but you also have to think, or with how Lauren, all this stuff has played out over the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
I don't doubt that Lauren was turning and stabbing and picking and poking and causing chaos
Yep.
between family members. So, I mean, I'm just saying I don't know that, but I mean, why not?
Yep. I know because I was getting messages
Well, there you
specifically
go.
telling me to do things like that from them.
Well, right.
You
They're
know.
telling
So
you to hold me
yeah.
down, basically,
Yep.
and put me
Yep.
in parameters.
And making it sound like it was coming from your mom.
Right. I
So
still need to ask my mom just to ask, just
yep.
to find out because I I hope Or they
Cassandra, all
better
right.
hope.
I need to interrupt you for a minute. Cassandra, I've removed that post. Do not post that again. That is not appropriate. First, on this channel, guys, stop talking about Colby. All right, just stop because it's getting to a place that I'm very uncomfortable with. We support Colby. We know Colby's had a rough life.
And we
He's
all know
he's
the
figuring his shit
accusations
out,
too. We
right? He's
know. I
gonna make
mean,
mistakes.
yeah.
Leave Colby out of it. Do not diss Colby, and certainly do not speculate about what SA he may have suffered in my chat. Do not do that. That is none of your business. It's nothing for any of us to think about it. Okay? Do not even think about what Colby may have went through. All right? That's not just
Well,
leave
that's
Colby. Just
that's
leave him
kind of
alone.
another thing that, I mean, and I don't know. It's such a tricky situation and I hate it. And I hate
Yeah.
it for Joe. I want him to have justice too, because I believe he was number one.
I think Joe was
And
the first murder. Absolutely.
yeah, but I
I've
mean,
always thought
like,
that.
I don't know where, debating whether or not Colby was SA'd and or if Joe SA'd Colby, it's just a circular, it doesn't
Yep.
really,
We
like,
will never know.
we'll never
We will
know. Right.
never
Joe's
know.
not here to prove it. Colby, I'm gonna believe victims. Okay.
Yep.
I wanna believe Lauren when she did her crap. I wanna believe these SRA victims who are in anguish for decades because their case never goes to trial.
Yep.
I wanna be believed, okay? Because I was SA too. I'm just saying, like, you wanna be believed, and I wanna live in a society where that's the
Yep.
same for me,
All right.
and to be kinda
Well,
mhm,
I said,
and to be
oops,
s
I
sensitive to it. Yeah.
shushing myself. That's what I was doing. I was like, shut up, up.
Girl!
All right, Cassandra, I'm gonna have to block you. We are not here to go over those details of the Lori Vallow Daybell case. We're not doing that today. We're talking about a different issue that is currently on the horizon, but we're not going to speculate about Lori Vallow's motives and murder victims or what they may have not got. We're not doing that. That is not the place for this. Maybe someday Kresha might feel like doing a tell all of everything she knows, whatever.
Well, I
But
still wouldn't know that. Just
yeah,
saying.
yeah. So let's not speculate on things we cannot possibly answer, that are going to bring up hurt all around. Remember, there is a family member present on this live stream. Be respectful or you're going to be deleted. Period. Thank you. Moving on. Sorry. I'm so mad at flying monkeys. Crush, I'm so mad. Man,
Yeah.
I'm just tired of it.
Well, and I mean, no, that's never stopped. That's always going on.
Yeah,
Those comments. I mean, it's like, I mean, I believe we all believe that, that Joe was the first. I don't know what to do. I mean, like, I can't force them
right.
to kick that into gear. I mean, hopefully, if anybody wants to do anything about it, go find Annie. I don't know how to get a hold of her, but find how to get her links or whatever to that petition. Sign
Yep.
it.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't leave things in the greatest of places with Annie, but it's not, you know, out of the
She
world
basically
I
said
could
in her letter
push
that if
her.
we don't sit at her Thanksgiving table, she ain't gonna worry about it. So, I mean, I get it.
Right.
Like, she
That's not
is
a bad position to
going
take,
on.
really.
Right? It's not.
It's not.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
just saying. I mean, I do. I respect her. I just don't like when I don't like. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't like the rift. I
Yep.
feel like we could be a freaking force, you know,
Yep.
if we all just um were able to just duke this out. Not duke, but hash it out
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
and
like
squash it.
we I think almost anyone right now can agree on a few certain things. You know, attacking a family member is off limits and wrong. Certainly, comparing yourself to murder victims is not a good idea. Talking ill of murder victims, especially children, is really not good. You can agree on those basic things, then it's very easy to say, okay, this person needs to stop being on YouTube. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Why can't we just make it that simple?
That's a good I
you
mean,
know?
that's good, a little baseline. I never even, like, I don't know, I never try to put a range on it because I talk about some crazy things,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, "There's no way. I'm always gonna be shadow banned," you know? Like, it
Yeah, the
sucks.
the common goal, the common ground, Betty Boop. That's exactly it. We agree. I think anyone on both sides would agree on those few certain things. And if you agree on those very few certain broad things, that's it.
Mhm.
The solution is very, very clear.
Well, and that brings up how how lopsided it felt, you know, for when Lauren started her YouTube and everybody started going over there and I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to go find that video of her. It was like a pre-record, you know, and it was of her and she was like crying and she was upset. She was super sensitive about her faith, you know, her church, and her feelings were getting hurt. And but I mean, okay, maybe for average people, you know, or just the regular sub, you know, like not me. Like I'm a family. This is my family that they dissect all the time. And they, you know, you got to go get the documents over here. I could never get any free documents or anything from them because I'd have to pay for you know, a
Yeah.
Patreon, which I did a couple times, and I was a member
Oh,
a couple times.
oh man.
So I know I thought about going and pull my receipts. You know how it holds them. I still have. You're my first one.
Yeah.
I still have my sticker.
Oh, I
But I
remember
mean,
that.
you didn't dig me over either. You know, you didn't poo poo on me for 5 years or 4 years.
Exactly.
And I wish I wouldn't have let her, you know. I just
Well,
didn't know. You kind of get stuck. Or I kind of
there were
got
there were
stuck.
a lot of people that jumped in and pulled us away from each other. Like Gertrude, uh, she was telling you, blowing smoke up your butt and telling me that you hated me.
Oh, she did
Christian,
this to everybody.
Christian
Oh,
does everyone want you to tuck your
freaking
game.
everybody. Freaking
Frickin',
everybody.
frickin' everybody. But
Yep.
I believed it kind of because I was like, oh my God, Christian's mad at me. She hates my guts. Ah, you
Mm,
know? And so, but they went around doing that to everybody,
mm.
you
That's
know?
bullshit. Well, I don't believe anybody. How about
Yeah,
that? Like when,
that's
you know,
it.
some
Yep.
people, this is what happens. People go from channel to channel. Some have no filter. Some don't know how the lingo to use on the internet. Some I mean, I was one of them. I had to learn by trial and error, like, just to basically say, "Oh, you're not supposed to say that. Oh, you can't. Oh, that's what is doxing?" You know, all
Yep.
those weird things. Oh, that's a hashtag. It's not just something, oh, like, hashtag, like, this is the new thing to say. That's what I thought. I didn't
Yep.
know you put links. I didn't even know what that was. I was like, "What do you mean a link?" I watched Annie, so I would learn,
Yep.
right? Self-taught right here. But
We have a comment from chat for you. It says, Crash, I sincerely hope it doesn't hurt you for me to say this. And I'm reading it to you because I know it's not going to hurt you to hear this. I love seeing
it's okay.
JJ's photos. He is the most beautiful boy. You want to see Crash light up? You start talking about JJ's pictures and videos.
Thank you.
He is beautiful.
I don't get it. Like, I feel like I don't do it enough, or well, I wish I could do more. You know, I wish that I could have been. I mean, thank you for your comment, first off. That's very
Yeah.
sweet, and it means a lot to me. But you know, I go into like but mode.
Yep. Yep.
I wish I could have been. Had he not been adopted, I could have been his aunt. But
Yep.
because the dynamics changed, I mean, so Mom and Larry, you know, they talked to Lori and Charles, and they had an agreement, but there was like no aunt agreement, you know. And I mean, I didn't know what to do. I was just kind of like, okay, well, I know I don't want to like go and interrupt, and I definitely didn't fly back then.
Right.
I started flying after they were murdered because of them. Like, I was just like, Get the F over yourself, girl. Get your ass in a plane." I mean, I went from, like, my uncle I have another uncle that died in a plane crash in 2001 in Joplin, Missouri, crashed into a house. The people in the house lived.
Mm,
And, so that happened in 2001, and then uh, in the mid or the 2010s or whatever, I became a certified, what was it? Mechanic apprentice. And an air like a it was a airplane business. I'm gonna just say that, and we worked on FedEx, you know, uh, jumbo. What are they
Oh,
called?
man.
Airbuses. Yeah,
Wow.
my tool belt. Boy, I love tools. I do, y'all. I love some tools. I just have all, yeah. I don't know. I miss it. I miss working with my hands. That's why I go outside and cut grass.
Right.
I worked on the lawnmower this morning before I took it out for a spin. But I mean, it's not a run lawnmower either, or self-propelled. All right, that's how I'm losing a little bit of weight. So, anyways, I tried getting over my fear of just flying. I didn't want to fly. Mom was like, "Girl, come on, we'll go anywhere you want to go." And I was like, "I'm not doing it." Not. And so well, actually, I mean, I did fly once to Tennessee with me, mom. It was me, mom, and my two little kiddos. And then we flew to Vegas in 2008 or 10. I don't remember. I have the date somewhere. And so we're there, and for 4 days, it rained 3 out of the 4 days. And I'm not a gambler at all. Like you can miss me with that. Like mom would give
Yeah.
me like $100 here at the casino. We have La Berge de Lac here or whatever, and she'd give us money if we go up there, get her a little tipsy. She's like, "Here, go gamble." And I'm like, "Okay." And I would go take a little walk. And I'd be like, my odds are 100% walking out with this $100 bill if I just don't put it in these
Right.
machines. So then she caught on and she was like, "No, sit right here, dude." And I'm like, "Oh my God, they see me coming." Todd goes and they're like, "Cha-ching, cha-ching." And I'm like, "Whatever, y'all suck. I'm bored,"
Yep.
So we're in Vegas and the craziest thing happened. And that's when me and mom went to Planet Hollywood and we run into
Mhm.
Charles and Lori. And I'm like,
Oh,
"What?" Like that was crazy. And so I
huh.
have a picture of Lori. I know I have more, but um the only one I have had to show or whatever was she's like it's kind of like a selfie, but she's kind of half in the picture and half not. She's
Right.
looking at me like, eh. And then I have a good picture with me and Uncle Charles. And anyways, so yeah, and so I flew. That's the only time until the kids.
Oh, goodness. Goodness.
Yeah.
Um, Chat says they also believe Joe was the first. Hope they can
Mhm.
somehow prove it someday. I don't think
Yeah.
so. The reason that I got close to Annie Cushing in the beginning was because she got the whole file of Joe's crime scene photos,
Yeah.
and we
They're
went through
crazy.
them like literally with magnifying glasses.
She's a good analyst,
Oh
I
yes, she
mean,
is. But we found glasses like on the bar with like a lip imprint, almost like a lipstick imprint on the glass. There was food on the plates. I mean, there was so much stuff. We went through every inch of
oh
his
yeah,
entire apartment.
the hair dye,
The hair,
the
yep,
driver's license. Like I even have a picture of it,
yep, yep.
screenshot.
And we found
Um,
a tablet. It looked like Tylee's tablet on the
yeah,
floor in his
her
room.
pictures were up. That was about the only thing.
Yep,
Yeah, that was a bizarre thing. He had the extra lock, the deadbolt or whatever, and it was locked from
yep,
the inside.
yep.
Yeah, I watched all that. I mean,
Yeah,
I
so
would participate in chat, but like her mod is Janice.
yeah, I know.
And that's who Lauren brought into the freaking thing the other
Yep,
night. And so that's where I was like, "Let's go." Ding
yep.
ding. Because I mean, I was pissed off and felt like totally played
Yeah,
whenever it was that Halloween 2020. She dressed up as Lori, my
yep,
killer aunt. She went and then and then there was somebody dressed as Julie Rowe and there was somebody dressed as
yeah.
Melanie. They
They
went
posted it
to
all over Facebook like they were so proud of
M
it too.
Madison County Jail, took
Yep,
pictures in front of there, and I mean, she did resemble her, but I thought it was funny, right? I have a morbid sense of humor,
yep,
and so I downloaded them, and then back then, like, I did not know how to video edit. We can tell by looking at our first videos, okay? By our, I mean mine. So, I like, incorporated it. It's not like I was using it at face value, you know?
Right.
but I did get it from a social media site and add whatever to it. And but I actually did not know how to upload you thumbnails at that time. So
Mhm.
I put it inside the video. So Janice contacts me and through Messenger, and she's like, "Why do you why do you have something like, why do you have my picture? Why are you using my picture?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like I was like, "Oh no, I did not want to." I don't know all the rules. It
Right,
was a
right.
couple months after the kids were found, and I had never gone live on my channel at that point. Not
Mhm.
until 2021, like the following year. And so I was like, okay, well, I can edit it out. I have to take the video down. I now have to run it back through. It was a lot of work,
Yeah.
but I did it. I deleted it, did it, re-uploaded it, but I mean, she after that she was like, "I do really resemble her, though, right?" And I'm just like, and she's just
Oh,
LOL. And so after a while, when I revisited that, later, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm apologizing to her."
right.
But she's dressing up as my
Yes.
killer aunt who killed all my family members. My mom was on the list, all these things. And then I heard that she had went, I don't know this, but I mean, this was the rumor, and it's a small town, that she went, allegedly showed up at the prosecutor's house, Wood, and trick or treat, and he's like, he allegedly pulled her
Oh,
outside or met her outside and was like, "You are scaring my kids."
yep.
So I mean, this is Annie's BFF. This is, or her really good
Yeah.
friend, and this is her mod. And so you got Annie, another family member who I did respect. I tried, I boasted her, but but then she started accusing my mom of
Mm.
all kinds of things. I mean, there's all kinds of things. I'm just like, whoa! I'm looking at the same documents, and I just don't get it. I don't see that.
The only other person who accused your mom was Lori frickin' Vallow. So,
Really?
yeah.
Wow, that's the first. I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah, Lori, yeah.
Sounds right on brand though with
Yep.
what we're dealing what we're dealing with.
So it's like, well, yeah, yeah. If you're gonna accuse,
That's weird. Yeah.
mm, it's so it's just so gross, Gretchen.
It
The whole thing,
is. It's
it's
hurtful.
gross.
It's
Yep.
messy and it's chaos.
Yep.
It's all laced in plotting and just being sneaky and just hurting people, hurting innocent people who are unsuspected. They're unsuspecting people, and
Yep.
you're somebody they trust, allegedly, and yeah, betrayal like a mofo.
Like, but that's not even a strong enough word.
No, it's
It's not.
not.
Yeah.
I've tried. I can't find a word that would, uh, I guess, emote evil. Diabolical is about as, I don't know
Yep.
what else. What else is there?
Yeah. Situations like that need bigger language, and we just don't have those words. We don't.
No, it's a feeling. Well, look, yeah, I appreciate that, but I mean, it doesn't. I want Annie to have support too. I just don't
She
want all
doesn't
the
need it from
accusations.
you.
I can. I mean, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, but I can vouch for the credibility of my mother. My
Yes,
mother doesn't
obviously.
hate children. I've had people were accusing, or just saying stuff in chat on another channel yesterday, saying that my mom hated Tylee, and I'm like, who? What? I mean, do you even hear what you're like accusing right now? Like, I
Yep.
don't get it. I mean, I guess it's easy, I don't know. This was a crazy freaking situation. It was scary.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I wasn't in danger, I don't think. But I mean, I knew my mom was. I knew that we couldn't find the kids, and like if I was outside and I saw a car or whatever vehicle, I mean, if it was slow or whatever, I would duck. I would literally duck because I was like, oh shit, what are they doing?
Mhm.
I mean, you didn't know what this cult consisted of.
Right.
Still
How
don't.
big it was, what their goal was, what the point of
Right.
it all was, you know? Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, and it was something else too about, like, some, documents, the light and dark scales, but I
Yeah.
don't know, I never asked my mom about that, but I need to, I'll ask her. But oh, and
Yeah.
that's another thing. Why why can't they contact one another?
Right.
You know, it would be
Mhm.
nice instead of, I know people will be
Yeah.
like, "Why didn't you contact Lauren?" I was in her damn live chat, okay?
Yep.
And she was like, "Love you, Krisha. Love
Yes, she
you."
was.
Knowing damn good and well she talked shit about me and my family
Yep.
and compared herself to the actual victims that she built her brand on.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. Melanie Gibb didn't like Tylee, we know that.
right.
She did not.
I believe, and I'm telling, I've got to figure this out. Maybe you can help me.
I will try.
Fresh eyes, fresh but not, old fresh. You got some old fresh eyes, girl. I'm just picking. um, but okay, so I suspect, I am alleging right now that Melanie. Okay. Oh, maybe you don't know this part yet. Let me wet my whistle.
Ooh. Ooh, something new. Oh.
Well, okay, I remember when Carl Danger had gone on to JS for Justice and he did like a timeline, over a couple, I want to say 3 episodes.
Mhm.
And in one of those, I don't remember which one, maybe the second one, he said, he mentioned that Melanie Boudreaux had, the weekend that Tammy was murdered, which was the 19th of October.
Mhm.
Alex was, we found out that Alex was supposed to go, but then Chad asked him to hang back, hang with the dude,
Yep.
the Duda, instead of the Buddha, I guess. Anyways, um, so Lori, Melanie Boudreaux, and oh shit,
Audrey.
Audrey. Yeah, I was like, where am I going? Audrey Baratero. They all were in Hawaii the
Yep.
weekend that Tammy was murdered. There was allegedly, according to Carl Danger, who's was a part of True Crime Underground Facebook. I don't know if he still is.
Yes.
Haven't been there in forever. Um, but he had mentioned that it was hearsay. What he said, that he had heard that Melanie Boudreaux had donated around $6,000 to an Operation Underground Railroad fundraiser. You
Mhm.
told me that, I think.
Yeah.
And you maybe, yeah, okay. Now that just clicked. That just clicked. I'm sorry. I remember
Yep.
I was outside, and
Yep.
that's when I had my sticker.
It's like the layers of rings of the cult. We have the Chad and Lori, and then their immediate surroundings. Melanie, David, the other Melanie, the
It's like
people
a
that were
tree
right.
rings, tree
Right.
rings. Yeah.
The next ring out from that is the
Tim
ant
Ballard.
level of Underground Railroad,
Yeah.
OUR. And then you get Mao and Roe
Well,
and
that's in
that group.
same. No,
Right.
that's in the same as Tim.
The same
I
as
mean,
Tim.
actually,
Yeah.
that's the same as
Yeah.
Chad and Lori, and then
Sort of.
sort of,
Jason
yeah,
Mao, he was
yeah.
friends with them and interacted, but he wasn't in their little, like, he went on their podcast once. He did one podcast with them.
No,
He
he
did a
had
lot of
Chad on.
podcasts.
He had Chad on too,
He had
and
Chad
we don't know
like
where
on
that one
his.
is, huh?
He had Chad on his podcast.
Yeah, and we
Okay.
don't know where that one is.
I
I
don't
mean,
think I
I
have
have
that
his
one.
interview. I actually read into train. I have it uploaded to my channel. Um, I read the FBI, and I want to say it was just an FBI agent that went there. It was during COVID,
Chris
and
Parrott's house. Yeah.
no, Jason
Oh,
Mao,
Jason
and
Mao's house. Okay.
so you know how there's the interview of Jason Mao, and they do the buccal swab and all that stuff,
Right. Yep.
which is he's the only person I saw the police take a buccal swab from, and I was like,
Hmm.
what? And you want the dates from when? And you
Right.
know Ron Ball and his sister, like he knows or whatever. And I mean, Jason Mount went and spoke at Tammy's school too.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Jason Mao knows Ron Ball outside of this case.
Actually, Ron Ball knows Jason Mount's sister.
Oh, that explains something.
There's all kinds of
Ah.
things like this. Okay,
All
tons.
right. All right. I don't like
You
that.
just gotta suck it up because you gotta
Yeah.
just eat it.
Yeah. Because I placed Jason Mao in Yellowstone
That tracks, ma'am.
at one of
I
the
tracked
white
him
weekends.
500 miles away in Billings, Montana, at a
Yeah.
ward. He was at a singles ward. Um, speaking, he
Yeah.
spoke there.
That
But
weekend.
let me tell you, I pretty much debunked his entire the flyer that they had for that day.
Right.
It is so generic. I mean, I'm like, where's all the bells and whistles like old Nancy James does? It was like eat sack lunch. It was to me, it was a cover.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like a real
But
event
but it
proper.
was the weekend that JJ was murdered is
Yes.
when he was there the
Yes.
same day. And it was 500 miles away from Billings,
Two. Yep.
between Billings and
To the
Rexburg, yeah.
west. Yep. It was to the
But
west.
JJ, I mean, come on. Come on, y'all. I will never, I'll just come out with what I believe. I
Yeah.
will never ever believe that David Warwick had a bad dream and Melanie went to go find Lori and Chad, right?
Hmm.
When she claims she doesn't believe in their bullshit, why she wouldn't find Lori? Lori, according to everybody except for all the scripture I read, you know, where
Yep.
where you do the exaltation ceremony, basically. um, Lori is telling the truth in this sense, but it's so cloaked in religious babble.
Right.
And this is how they get away with it. And this
Yep.
is how they were going to get away with her mental incompetency. If you're
Yep.
saying you're seeing Jesus, but you're not really seeing Jesus, it's just a code phrase that you're
Yep.
using,
Exactly.
then
Exactly.
that tends to make you look a little cray.
Yep. But
And so that's what I'm trying to fucking get out.
hey,
It's so
if we're
damaging.
going
It's
down for
so
defamation,
damaging.
we're going down together. Okay, because I
It
have said from
sucks.
day one, Melanie Gibb needs to be in a jail cell right next to Lori.
Man, it's
Period. You will
disturbing.
never convince me otherwise,
No,
ever.
I'll die on that hill too, girl.
Yep.
We'll camp
Yep.
out.
Yep.
We'll become preppers. No,
Here,
just
high
kidding.
five. We got this. We're going down together.
Yeah, David Warwick's bad dream was JJ's murder.
It was. It was just his way of telling it in a way so he could convince his brain
Escape.
that he was telling the truth.
No, he was escaping culpability.
Well,
They
that
know
too.
what they're doing because this is what they do
Yeah. But they
all the
have to
time.
look believable. The best way to look believable in a police interview or on the
It's
stand
to lie to
is
yourself.
to find yourself a way to tell the lie that your brain believes. That's what
So,
that story is. It's
well,
bullshit.
but that reminds me of Sherry Dowdle.
Yes, it
What was the
does.
point of Melanie Gibb calling somebody she didn't really know?
Yep.
She was getting her story straight.
Yeah.
And then she pitched it to Nate. Oh, well, the cops, then Nate.
Yep.
And then she played around way too much. She was just, in the trial, Chad's trial, she, when John, I think it was John that got into her about the energy work. Oh, no, I lie. It was after, it was somebody else. The state uh, prosecuting attorney, or wait, attorney general. It was like a junior attorney general worked for the AG's office or something in Idaho. And he talked about about the energy work type stuff. Okay. And I need to go back and revisit that, and how even when Doug Hart was on the stand, the FBI agent Doug Hart,
Yeah, I
how
remember.
John Pryor approached him about whether the FBI uses psychics, and I'm like, y'all know y'all do.
Yep.
And he asked about Alison Dubois, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they do. This
Yep.
is what they do, y'all. Turns out,
Yeah.
but they're
There's
like,
there's
no,
there's so much stuff that
that's
maybe
convoluted.
someday that we should just throw out in public about the case, that we like some things I dug up that I was like, what on earth is this? But
Hmm.
it's voluminous.
It's so heavy. It's too
Yeah.
much to carry. I mean, even for me to bring it to a presentation to show you,
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed every damn time, and I
Yep.
never execute it because it's so overwhelming. Or I go, it's like my mind splits in 15 different directions.
Okay.
Eh,
I do have a message in chat from Bronfoth. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but Bron has sent you an email for you to read and forward to me too, because she didn't have my email address. Sent me a message on Twitter this morning, so it's got to be sitting in your inbox. But it's not for public discussion yet. It's just for us.
I
So
usually don't. Oh
just so you
yeah,
know.
unless somebody is like, hey, share it. Oh, which reminds me, when I talked to Gigi earlier, she asked me if I would ask you. Okay, so I'm asking you
Okay.
if you. She was wondering if maybe you had her blocked on X or Twitter, whatever, since from the last time, and she was, you know, I don't know if you want to block her or not or whatever. I
Yes,
just
I would like
passed in the
to.
message, and she
I
was
will do
proud
that.
of you, and she is behind you 1,000%.
I thought she hated me because back when they started the whole Mark Me,
No.
she said some things about me. I was like, ah, and I was so hurt thinking that she hated me that I just blocked out just so I wouldn't see her. Not that she wouldn't see me, but I was sad. So I was like, I don't. That makes me sad to see Pretty Lies and Alibis be mean to me. No, so
Wait, yeah, I'm trying to
you
find
know,
the text right here
so
where
stupid.
she mentioned you. I mean, like, she a couple times. Let's see. She said, "Hey, I tried to send Awen an inbox on X, telling her how happy I was to see her back, but somehow I'm blocked with her. And I'm not sure
Oh,
if years ago we might have mentioned that drama on our podcast,
yep.
but if you could tell her to unblock me, I would like to inbox her and just tell her how amazing she is."
I
And
am
then, yeah, she
looking for the
she
button.
dropped a load on me that I was like, "Holy shit, this explains a whole lot."
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm on Twitter right now trying to find. I see privacy and safety. I don't see a block list. How do
I
I
don't know,
unblock?
I know
Okay,
nothing
yeah,
about that's the
yeah.
last platform I got on. I was streaming to it, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, no, not anymore. You're not gonna." I don't know, you like I guess I have to have pay or something. I'm not paying for anything else.
I'm not. I'm not either. There's so much. There's so much.
What? Okay. Yeah, I know it's showing up. That's Jason.
Hi,
Trying
Jason.
to drop into my DMs.
I haven't talked to him in years.
Oh, right. He's ornery, old. No, I'm kidding. He's not old. I'm joking. He's right here next to me always. So the I'm gonna make sure. Like she didn't say. Hold on. Let me make sure.
I'm sorry. I found my block list. I'm scrolling through it now. It's probably gonna take a while. I have so many political things blocked, like thousands, because I don't want to see that garbage anymore. Uh, yeah, Gigi, if you happen to be listening to this, I am scrolling Twitter looking for the block, going through the block list, trying to find it. Oh, there's Left Undone. I can unblock her too. Look at that. Psychic Reverend Donna. Yeah, that's staying blocked. There it is. Pretty Lies and Alibis.
Yeah. I put up with that for a long time. Just everybody was
I
like, "Oh my god,
remember
Donna Seraphine," and I was like, "Just whatever." Okay.
you called me at one point and told me about a reading she did for you,
She look
and
Joe Ryan's
oh,
cousin. Or wait, hold on. Joe Ryan's. Yeah, his cousin. Who was so sweet, okay? I mean, she really was, but she had contacted me,
hmm
and she was like, "Hey, I just did a reading with, this lady, she's a psychic," and she was like, she wanted to do some for Charles and JJ and just all that stuff, and she said that the closer the kin, it would help, and so I was like, "Hell yeah." I felt so helpless. I did. Look,
hmm
and I am all about research, I'm telling you. There's nothing I wouldn't have done and still wouldn't do to just find the truth, Like
oh yeah,
I was all over the place.
yep,
And so I'm not now where she did take advantage of me in my opinion and
hmm
our situation is it became extortion or not where our private conversations she has actually published them and I'm just like, man, I was like kind of that was fucked up. First off, that's messed up. Why would you do that?
Right.
Not, I mean, when I say, yeah, you can share it, I don't mean our private conversations. I mean, like, your readings or whatever the hell you need, like, come on. Anyways, and so I don't know. This was at the same time all this stuff was happening with you. This is all at the same time it was happening with Hellas,
Mhm.
uh, TraumaCon,
Yeah.
Lauren, and all that. Lori was incompetent. Indictments came down. Then Lori was incompetent. She didn't even get. She was like, what do you call it? Arraignment or something. Once you get
Right,
charged,
right.
um,
Your
and
first appearance.
so she didn't even have that done yet. I don't think because she had that done when she came out in April of 2022
Mm.
when I went there. And that's when they had Mark out and they had Jim Bob in. And I mean, nice to know this too, that like uh what's his Thomas? I forget his first name. Anyways, he's a Nate's neighbor.
Oh, man. It
Just
doesn't
like Peg,
stop.
right?
Yeah,
FFS.
exactly, exactly.
They go to, the golf. I'm like, and I would say that too. I'm like, Jay, they're like, all right, what we gonna do after work? you know,
Yeah.
oh my God, they're going to go to the shooting range. you know,
Exactly. Yeah, it don't stop. It just doesn't stop,
no.
you know?
And so when I learned that like Frank Vandersloot, there were two back in the day. I mean, he claims he was poor, like really poor,
Right.
and he basically was mentored by. I'm just gonna. There's two. I don't remember the name. I think Roger Ball and another Ball. They're like two brothers who are balls, and so two Ball brothers. Okay, get over it.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Stop giggling. I'm trying.
It's just like Richard Jason Mao. I want to say Dick,
Yep.
because it fits.
He
Ha
looks like him
ha
in
ha!
that
Oh my
photo.
God, that was bad.
Yeah. Let's stop.
I walked into that one myself.
See, this is why Crush and I should be on the phone in private more
You're
than we are
right.
live together.
I'm like, oh yeah, wait, John Thomas. Thank you, just me. I hope you're doing okay, just me. I love I love it whenever I see you in the chat. Um, so where was I at? Everywhere, huh? I was everywhere.
Yeah, you were the two Ball brothers.
Yeah, well, we're past those. Well, they helped Frank get started and then he went and served a mission. Well, he became a member of the church, of course.
Yeah.
He went to the Netherlands, I want to say, for his mission. And so I told this to the lady I was mentioning in chat. She has a channel, Allegedly Innocent, and she's actually a forensic psychologist, but she she does this is what she does. She talks about true
Mhm.
crime and she talks about trauma. and so she's very respectful, very nice. I appreciate her opinion. She's a fellow Louisianian, and she's always been very like she leans towards Charles.
Right.
But she's always been sweet, and she always gives me the floor if she lets me up on her panel, or whatever. And so I just always appreciated her for that. But she's the one that got the cease and desist I saw on her community wall.
Oh,
And when I saw the only thing I saw immediately was that whomever typed the letter, I don't know. Is it real? First off, that's what I'm asking. Okay.
yep.
I'm asking that because there was no evidence presented in Lauren's 9-hour. Oh my God, look at all this evidence. I mean,
Right.
besides the body cam, but there was nothing in the body cam or on the body cam that proved anything
Right.
except that it looks like Darvo straight up.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, no evidence. Um, I always go too far with things.
I know. It's so hard not to.
I
It's too
can't walk
easy
so
to do
fast.
it. You just
Yeah.
start talking and the shit, there's so much of it. There's so much of it.
Because I used to not explain myself enough and I would just jump, and so yeah. So I guess I overcorrected. And now I gotta straighten it back out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Let's see.
Frank. So whenever I had allegedly innocent on a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Tom Harrison possibly doing MK Ultra types experiment or not experiments, but techniques, methods on Tim Ballard as basically like a Manchurian candidate kind of, or the next president. Like here, you're gonna be a senator, then you're gonna be a president, then you're gonna be a prophet of the church. And anyway, so we talked about that, and then I mentioned the Netherlands tour for Frank Vandersloot, and she typed something up. She went and looked something up, and she was like, "Oh yeah." She said, "Now I don't know. I did not do this myself, so because I wondered this, but there's a guy named Vandersloot in another murder case. Natalie Holloway, was it?
Right, Natalie Holloway case.
I
Yep.
think. Okay, and so I gotta corroborate that first.
Yeah. See, it bothers me because I had no idea that there was any connection with Mao and possibly Ron Ball, because I had a long talk
Oh
about
yeah.
Ron Ball when I had all of this, all his Facebook check-ins back before we had GPS stuff,
I have
and
some
I'm like, "Look,"
screenshots too, girl.
I was like, "He was right here. He was right outside Rexburg on this day, and look at this and look at that." And Ron Ball's like,
Yep.
"Okay." He's just like, "Okay, okay." I'm like, "What do you mean,
Mhm.
okay?
Yeah,
He's right
okay.
there." Right? He thought I was he's
Document it.
nuts. But had I known that there might have been a connection there, I might not have said
There's
that.
always gonna be a connection there.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, the Delphi case makes me horrified. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
where's the damn, Blue Lodge? Where's the
Yeah.
Blue Lodge?" Anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, for everyone thinking I was working for Lori Vallow, that was me screaming into the phone at the top of my lungs at Ron Ball because I found Jason Mao outside Rexburg the weekend that JJ died. And I was like, "You've got to see this. You've got to see this." And he's just kind of like verbally patting me on my head, like, "It's okay. It's okay, honey. You go sit down." I
Mhm.
was like, "Bah, he's right there." Man, yeah, I was a little far gone with finding these people. And when
Oh,
you
yeah,
start to
and I
see
mean,
where they went, and
you would ask me about this,
yeah,
and I was too, and because nobody was fucking talking about
right,
it.
right. Yep.
Lauren was not talking about it. Nate would not talk about nobody was talking about it, but yet everybody's putting it on thumbnails, doomsday mom, cult mom,
Mhm.
all the things, and I'm just like, "Well, okay,
Like, why is Lori and Melanie flying to Mississippi or Missouri? Missouri,
Independence,
I think.
Missouri."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why are they going there then? What the heck were they doing there?
It
There's
has
so many
well, I
little
can tell you,
things. Yeah, I know, we know now, but back then we were like, "What?" You
ritual
know?
ground, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And
And
plus, Audrey is an herbologist
mhm.
with a background working for the church.
Yep. But can you imagine when Audrey was sitting there up on the stand describing how they would stand there and hold hands and chant, and I'm like, "Oh, we're just gonna gloss over that like it's normal." All right. The defense didn't even rip that apart. They're just like, "Oh, okay, so you did your chanting." And then I'm like, "Dude, can nobody yell about this?" You know, they were chanting to try and kill people. They
Yep.
did it to Charles. They did it to Tammy. They probably did it to the kids.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. Well, Melanie was
They
like, "Oh, but
didn't.
no, I didn't do it for the
Yeah,
kids. No,
yeah.
not that
They won't
time."
admit it, but if they did it for everyone else, why would they not do it also for the kids? You
Amen.
know, and it's
But,
like,
so to kinda try and finish some kinda point here.
yeah, right,
So if maybe so just think about the Melanie Boudreaux thing of the weekend that Tammy was murdered and how she could have possibly donated some of the money she was collecting from Brandon Boudreaux, their divorce, all the settlements, yada, yada, yada.
yeah.
Okay, so maybe so. All right, at a gala. Yeah, they have a lot of those in Hawaii. Interesting. It's a whole lot of money laundering going on here, in
Mhm.
my opinion, allegedly. All right. But I mean, there's a whiteboard proving it. What?
Yes.
She thinks about my theory on John and Lauren.
Who?
John and Lauren.
Okay, can I later?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I haven't even talked to her about that, like, okay. I didn't know if you were listening. So, oh man, I hate this. Now I can never get back on. Okay, so
I
back
got
to
you.
Melanie. maybe
Done a good
Operation
job.
Underground Railroad. So whenever Chad was on trial, John Pryor starts, presenting his witnesses, and that would be Emma, Joe Murray,
Hmm.
her husband, and Garth. And I mean, I will always go back and revisit the I forget, anthropologist, was it?
Yep.
That testified in behalf of Chad as an expert witness. And I saw with my own eyes the screen where it showed all the parts that were not there. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, I'm just
Right.
saying that little girl deserves to have. Anyways, all right. I'm going to
Yeah.
pass it up.
Deep breath. Deep breath. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
We're holding tightly in our hearts.
I suspect that oh wait, let me finish. Sorry, I'm getting really
I
excited
know.
or overstimulated or whatever it
Yep.
is. Okay, let me calm down. So, whenever they testified, Joe Murray testified he went that actually he was the director. I want to say it was a
Yes.
director of the Rexburg Rescue Run, September 7th, 2019.
Hmm.
So he directed this Rexburg rescue run. I mean, we had screenshots of them,
Right.
Emma, Joe, and the baby at the finish line, you know,
Yep.
had those. And then I saw there was a screenshot with somebody asking, "Oh, who's OUR?" And he's like, "We are whatever." And he does the spiel that Tim Ballard does. And so I'm like, well, I mean, he could be just fundraising, right? Follow the money.
Right.
Follow it. Chad
Yep.
Daybell, how much money did he make per year?
Not much.
Right. Don't listen to
Not
Lori because
much.
she is delusional. She's
Yes.
like,
Yes,
oh
we
yeah. Well, so that makes me even more questionable, or makes it more questionable because Chad didn't make a lot of money. So what was he doing? Like that
are.
just made me kind of click that together. Like, what was he doing for a side hustle?
Yep.
Okay. Because it wasn't just Joe Murray that or that was the director of the race on the weekend that Tylee was murdered. Okay. It wasn't just him directing this race for OUR. So OUR was in town. Okay. OUR was in town.
Yep.
What I'm saying is, and Tammy, all this time, the whole time up until that trial, and we still didn't believe her until I found the actual pictures of her, of Tammy at the finish line. She had a volunteer shirt on. She posed with her kids that were there. I think the only one that wasn't there was Leah. Chad wasn't there. Lori wasn't there because it was, why would he be there? He was hoeing around with Lori. And so I'm just trying, I need to get back in the timeline on this, but so Joe Murray testifies that he's the director of this OUR Rexburg rescue run that took place the same weekend that Tylee was murdered, September, but it was like a Friday, September 7th, 2019. Okay. This is the race that we always thought that Tammy was supposedly running in. She was
Right.
training for, right? A 5K race. Yeah, she's
Yep.
healthy. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, well, she was not. I mean, she was not running in the race, is what I'm saying. She volunteered though. So she was there. She's accountable. I've corroborated this. There's photos, evidence, and everything. And then I have like a roster of all the runner names, like of their times that they finished. Like Joe Murray's parents, they ran, and they have like their times, they finished, and they had like a couple different runs. Like they had the kids, and then they had the next level, and then the distance and all that stuff. All right. So, and then not only that, but there's a BYU uh, radio interview on September 4th, 2019 with Joe Murray. And they're like promoting this Rexburg Rescue Run race that's happening this weekend. Bring your kids, all the things. It's about 9 minutes long and it's on SoundCloud. And then on BYU radio.
Yeah.
And then that's just all from my brain, by the way. You wonder. So
I know
then,
that's why it's
what
dangerous to start talking because there's so much in there that's just gonna it leads to everything else.
this needs to be
Yep,
shouted from the rooftops.
yep,
So then, all right, we have that nailed down. But let me loop this in too, so you can kind of get a picture of what I believe is happening. When I was listening to Sherry Dowdle's phone call of Melanie Gibb, the one where she's just so gross. She's gossipy. She's just like, "Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was stupid for telling Charles." You know? "Yeah, you're
yep,
stupid for that," you know? I'm
mhm,
just like, "Oh my god, lady." And I think this is when she was practicing her alibi, because it's easy to do whenever you're forming it around evidence that's already there. Very easy to tailor things. Drop a couple word nuggets, like zombie, a shock value, make people stop thinking, give them what they want. Keep
yep,
the trail off of the rest of the cult. So I believe that Melanie was in town when Tylee was murdered too.
yeah,
Something from that phone call, and I'll have to find it, but just know that. But Emma also testified to the fact that Operation Underground Railroad was sponsored, not that Joe was just the director that day, hey, I'm volunteering. No. Chad Daybell's Spring Creek Book Company, him and Tammy's company,
right,
the one that was in the crapper, is sponsoring Operation Underground Railroad.
right.
Does that not stink to high heaven to you?
Oh, of course it does.
It
Of course it
stinks
does.
like poo poo.
It's a direct line between Chad Dable and Tim Ballard, and
Oh,
oh,
that's why you said that. Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yep,
Yeah, that's the direct line right there. I mean, sponsored him, and that's the weekend that Tylee was murdered. No longer to exist. And I do believe this was more of a cult participation.
That part too.
That, yeah, anyways. That Jay.
anyway, I have a couple questions for you from
Ugh.
chat. Um, Braun wants, you to connect with Dawn Perlmutter.
Oh, I
That
would
name
love
ring a bell?
to. I
Okay,
I found her during with the Delphi case. I'm like, oh my, I wrote her name down.
awesome. So maybe she can facilitate a connection there. The other thing, Turtle Boy apparently wants us on, but he keeps saying I didn't get an email, but he has my phone number, but he hasn't called.
And
And I
I
think
got an
he emailed
email.
you. So I think I'm just gonna show up in his live next time he's live and be like, okay, I'm here.
We'll have to be,
Get
yeah,
on there.
early.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Like the bus
midnight.
stop ones.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be early. But yeah, so that's that. Now, unfortunately, I have to start wrapping this up because I have some
Yeah, me
things to
too.
do. But one point I want to leave us with, a good thought, a positive thought today, that whatever Lauren Matthias has done, and it's all coming out, what she has also done is brought all of us back together.
Yeah, and
And I
there's
thank
not
her for
people
that.
stopping it. Yeah, she
Yep.
lifted the veil.
Yes. Yes, herself. She lifted the veil that she put on us, lifted it herself unintentionally. But like I'm talking to you, I'm going to talk to Gigi, I hope. It's like, oh, it feels so good to see
I'm
all these
glad.
people in chat that I haven't seen for 5 years. So, she did some good inadvertently. So, let's run with the good.
Yep,
Let's take the good and just run with it because it's a blessing. I am so
Oh, you
grateful
know,
to be
anyway.
back in touch with you, Kresha. You have no idea
I know.
how
It feels
happy my
good.
heart is. It feels
I'm
good.
glad you are too, and you're getting to speak
Yep.
your piece, and you're just it's good to connect with community, and I love you're so good at that.
I just
And
love it. I love
and
it.
all the people that you would have think have gone on, no, they're coming by and visiting you, and I love it. I love seeing
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
reuniting, and they're like, "Oh my god, hey,"
Yeah.
It's
It's
I
amazing.
didn't
And we're
understand
meeting
it
new
back then.
people. We're meeting a
Mm,
lot of new friends. And
yeah,
man, this wouldn't have happened if she didn't do that dang live stream. So
right?
thanks for being crazy, Lauren Matthias. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Thanks for burning your own effing kingdom down. Your
Exactly.
false effing kingdom down.
Where
I
hers
don't.
burns down, ours are rising up. That's it.
Yes. But
But we're not going to be money hungry, grifting, lying, Botox bitches.
no,
Ooh, did that just come out of my mouth?
I get happy if I have like $200, to spend.
Exactly.
I'm like,
Yep.
yay, where I don't have to, where I can look away at the gas pump,
Yep.
and stare off, not
Instead
worry
of
about
making a
having to watch
profit
it,
now. Yep.
you know.
Exactly.
But damn, let's give her credit for, she
Yep.
built the damn empire like a busy Mormon, like a good
Yep.
Mormon. She did do that.
Hmm.
Now, and I don't mean that in a slur or, a mean way.
Right.
Like, they are some hustlers, man. Whew.
Yes. Yes, they are. But
So
time
I
for her
have,
to lose it and time for us to take its place and do good things in the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you have a good rest of your day. Thank y'all
You
for
too.
listening to me and my scattered brain.
Please let your mom and Larry know that my heart is with them. I'm so happy that they're getting through this. If
Yeah.
there's anything any of you need, you know where I am. You know where
Thank
I
you.
am.
And same for you. Okay.
We
And
got this, girl.
I'm looking at my emails right now, y'all. So
Okay,
I'm
cool.
checking messages, checking things, and I gotta go to Walmart too. So all right. And definitely tomorrow is my regular day, Sunday. So hopefully you guys will
I'll
be
be
here at
around.
7:30 Central.
All
Be there,
right.
be square. All right.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye,
Bye
Precious. Love
guys.
you. See you later.
Bye.
And stream.